Hi, my name is Anton, and I run as Marcus.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I run as Witch's Cat.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I run as Bear.
Hi, my name's Jake. I run as Price.
Welcome to London Underground. Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing today?
Very well, DM Dan.
Yeah, alright, thanks.
I think you
Yeah.
find it's MC Dan today.
Oh,
Because yes, this isn't a standard session. We are not going to be playing Call Me Echoes of War or D&D today. Today is the first session of a somewhat intermittent, somewhat irregular game of London Underground, which is a cyberpunk themed game heavily influenced by
it's
the
about Shadowrun.
heavily influenced by Shadowrun, played through the Powered by the Apocalypse rule set, given to us by Hamish and the Sprawl. So yeah, this is a tweak. Shadowrun in the Sprawl is the rule set that we're using for it.
It's Shadowrun, basically.
It's heavily influenced by Shadowrun.
Yes.
Yes, using the Sprawl as its rule set. So we've got a new face here with us. Our runners for today. We have Anton, Julia, Matt, and joining us is Jake.
Hello. Hello, Jake.
Hello. So yeah, Jake's one of our local original gamers, playing D&D with us back for when we all first got together. So yeah, very happy to have you on board. Welcome, Jake. I hope you enjoy the chaos and carnage. Yeah, without further ado, I guess it's time to switch off the lights, get out your energy drinks, and dive into the dirty, murky depths of Neo-London. It has been 3 difficult months since the devastating attack on the Houses of Parliament behind me here at Westminster. And even now, as Neo-London recovers from the bloody carnage wrought by the insidious terrorists known as the Underground, vigils and memorials are still being left by family, friends, and colleagues of those slain in the cowardly bombing. I'm daunted by the attack which claimed so many lives, including that of the man who had just been elected Mayor of Neo-London, Savinder Singh. The Blue Tree Corporation has been working tirelessly to see that the mastermind responsible for the attack, known only as Meridius, as well as his network of operatives known as Shadowrunners, are brought to justice. A spokesperson for Blue Tree recently announced several multi-billion-pound acquisitions across mainland Europe, which promise to help accelerate recovery across all metrics. As Blue Tree continues to enact these economic and social plans to stabilise the city in the wake of the attack, the Neo-London Police Department has recently announced that they have fully merged their assets with Blue Tree so as to allow for quicker responses to Shadowrunner threats across Neo-London, as continued reports of the theft and resale of military assets by members believed to be part of the Underground increase. Whilst this may offer little respite to those who have been affected by the Underground's terrorism, we can soon look forward to a safer, brighter future under the protection of Blue Tree. This has been Caitlin Empora reporting for Blue Tree News. Back to you in the studio. With a grunt as you turn off the vid feed for the local news, who do we find sat on the old tattered sofa in front of the screen. Who of you is watching the news?
Bear? Does Bear watch the news?
Yeah, he's probably mesmerised by the talking box.
Well, let's.
Should we describe our characters actually then? Or
Yes.
do you want to do them one by
So,
one?
well, so who was it? Who was on the sofa?
Yeah, Bear would be
Okay.
sat there glued to the screen.
So, Matt, give us a description of Bear as you kind of grumpily look over your shoulder as someone else turns the TV off.
Yeah, so Bear is a dwarf. He's probably very heavily muscled, probably about as wide as he is tall, thickly set, wearing a bear skin with the bear's head on his as a hat, as a hood, and he's covered. His arms are kind of covered in blue swirling tattoos. His nose looks like it's been broken several times. He looks like he's a pretty formidable looking guy.
Okay.
And origins unknown.
Yes.
Okay, so as Bear, as you kind of shout over your shoulder, Matt, you choose. Who is it that you've looked over your shoulder at? Who is holding the remote, having just turned off that drivel?
Marcus.
Right. So Marcus comes from UCAS, which is cyber USA, I guess.
Yeah.
He is pretty much a cowboy. So he's probably mid-30s. He's got dark brown hair. Wears a cowboy hat, Stetson. Just like a cowboy. Speaks like one. What else? Pretty sharp features, but has a mustache and a beard. Would you stop listening to that, Bear? I'm tired of you watching TV all the time.
Okay, so Marcus, as you chastise the snarling dwarf, between who is it that comes in and tells you off for being mean to poor Bear?
It is Cat. Which is Cat. So known as Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie is a young woman, a 20-year-old. Kind of tends to dress a bit kind of goth punk, like lots of dark clothes, dark makeup, and a bit of a sullen, sarcastic attitude most of the time. She's been a decker or a hacker for a few years now. Got started quite young as a result of losing one of her parents and her other parent kind of naffing off, basically. And she's been kind of left responsible for a relative, a younger brother, ever since. And so that's why she got into shadowrunning, just to sort of make ends meet, really. Yeah. She kind of wanders into the room with a sort of tapping on her deck and saying, "Stop arguing, you two. Don't be so mean to Bear."
I'm just tired of being locked up in here, is all.
We all are.
And as the three of you talk, over in the corner, we find the last member of the team.
You find Price. He's got back to you originally because he's making a cup of tea for everyone, because that's the nice sort of thing that Price would do in these situations. He's got his trench coat nicely folded over the little table that we've got on the one chair for the family to sit round. Human, late 20s, early 30s. Quite a religious person, so he's brought up through church, and he's awakened. So he's found himself in the times of Shadowrun as being able to do magic, and he's trying to come to terms with: is this a gift for the end times, or is it something that so you can bring about and to make life better for everyone? So he's joined around his usual day commitments of looking after people and trying to spread hope and goodness in this time. He's actually a bit like almost Friar Tuck going into that sort of like shadow realm to try and help people who are trying to make difference and bring about niceness. So yeah, he's probably gonna he looks like he's trying to compose himself and trying to do the right thing, but he's probably got a few things going on at the moment from the previous past months that he's still trying to process in his head as to what's been going on, and so a little bit twitch going on underneath the surface as to the world coming apart a bit. This is not right.
Okay. Well, speaking of which, actually, if we quickly cycle back round, Matt, what playbook, what profession, if you could call it that, is Bear the dwarf?
He is a killer adept, which is basically he's a brawler who relies on his physical strength, but also he is guided by the bear spirit, the voice in his head that he attributes to the bear skin that he wears, and that lends him additional sort of power. So it's not quite magic, I don't think, but he's spiritually guided. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Marcus, what is your profession?
Marcus is a soldier. So he runs around, has guns and everything, but more specifically, he is very good at preparing missions and thereafter getting played. So it's all about organizing the mission.
Okay.
That's kind of his deal.
Fantastic. And then, Julie, as you said, Witch's Cat, or Ellie, is a Decker, and Price is an Awakened Mage. So, yes, as the TV report, the news report informed you, it has been approximately 3 months. The four of you have spent some time running together in the past. You were once part of a organization, unofficial organization known as the Underground, which was a collective conglomeration of Shadowrunners within the London area, which was brought together by an individual known as Meridius, who you remember was a early to middle-aged man, kind of neat, tidy combs back, white hair, piercing silver eyes.
Charismatic.
Very, very charismatic. And in your time working with the Underground, which operated out of London's now disused underground systems, like tunnels, you uncovered I suppose it would be a plot by an insidious faction known as Black Phoenix. In your relatively short time together, you kind of came toe-to-toe with Black Phoenix a few times, and culminating with that fateful day 3 months ago, which resulted in the bombing and utter annihilation of the Houses of Parliament at Westminster, in which the Tower of Westminster and its inhabitants, Big Ben, came crashing to the ground on Westminster Green, and where the newly elected mayor of Neo-London, Savinder Singh, was assassinated, you believe, by operatives of Black Phoenix, who you've discovered to be, for want of a better word, cybernetic. Well, they're heavily cybernetic, cyber upgraded individuals, like assassins, if you will.
Spooky, I remember.
Very spooky, very
all
creepy.
kind of red eyes and difficult to take them down, and quite powerful.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
I think one of you may have referred to them as cyber vampires at one point.
That's right, I remember that.
In the ensuing chaos of the bombing of Parliament, after which a nationwide vid feed of Meridius appearing to the nation, admitting, claiming ownership for the attack, the Underground were smashed apart by the NLPD, Neo-London Police Department, and you have scattered to the winds, you have laid low. But unfortunately, rent does not pay itself, and London prices, even now, are still horrifically expensive.
All the hipsters.
The Yeah,
all
we've
the
we've
cyber
gone
history.
past gentrification, haven't we? And we're on the next stage.
It's cyber gentry now.
Yes. So, you have kind of all gathered together. Today is a special day because, Marcus, as your phone, your comlink screen lights up, and you see an incoming call, and the caller ID, for all intents and purposes, says Red, who you know to be a fellow runner from before the fall.
Howdy, Marcus speaking.
So, as you bring the phone up to your ear, the hologram pops up in front of you, and you see. You see.
Yeah, Marcus doesn't do technology. He probably has the equivalent of like a Nokia.
So, you see a small image of a red-haired woman wearing a red kind of fashionable coat. And yeah, as she appears, she looks, realizes that you've not got your video on, Marcus, and you see her roll her eyes because this guy just doesn't know how to use technology.
Wait, hold on a minute. I know how to use this. Give me a second. Where's the button again?
Ellie impatiently hits it for her.
Okay. And then you see, so Red's face, like she opens her eyes, startled a bit as Marcus, your face appears on her end, and yeah, she kind of sees you just off to the side, like slinking off to the side, Ellie. She kind of gives you a little wave, and morning, darlings. You all right?
Yeah, I can't complain.
Well, that's good, because I think I've got a bit of a job for you today, and I understand, if I remember rightly, you lot are down in the dumps a little bit, so I think this will...
Listen, we're really busy. I don't know if you know, but yeah, we've been at it every day.
Uh-huh.
He's looking at Bear on the couch, just chugging beer, probably.
Yeah, you can see, like, Red's just kind of looking around the scene behind you, and she's just like, busy, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she looks at this scene, this picture of squalor that the four of you are currently living in, because that's all you can afford right now. And she says, well, here's the thing. I think I've got you a bit of a job, and I know you might not trust me when I say it, but it looks like it'd be a pretty easy one. Mr. Smith, he's a bit pressed for time, so well, I mean, the words that he said were he'll take anyone, but like it sounds like he's paying well for it. So, I thought of you.
Right.
Yeah, we're anyone.
So, they needed professionals, right?
Sure.
Much obliged.
Sounds promising.
Like she giggles to herself, and I'll sing you over the details. Like I say, Mr. Smith, he's kind of pressed for time, so it'll be there won't be much time for planning. It'll be somewhat of an in and out. Like, you've got to get to the meet. You've got to see what he has to say. I think you'll want to take the job because it sounds like it's pretty well paid. Me and the boys would do it, but we've got quite a lot on ourselves. So, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Send Kat the details.
Okay, and you see her, and she like taps something off screen, and then Kat on your comm link, you see like a file come through. Yeah, and she kind of smiles to the camera, and yeah, let me know how it goes when you're finished. And yeah, we need to catch up for a drink. It's been a while. You've just been kind of cooped up in that little flat. It's not good for you. You need some vitamin D.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we've been out and about. No problem. We got to meet up.
She nods. And if you can't get vitamin D, I suppose tequila will do.
Yeah, I can't say no.
And then she goes, okay, right, well, I've got to go. I've got to dash. Okay, I'll, be safe. Have fun on this job. And, I'll catch you. Okay, bye.
Thanks, Red. All right, see ya.
She closes
Okay.
the link.
How do I turn it off?
She already closed the link, Marcus.
Oh, all right, we're good.
Okay.
All right, so we're taking.
Better not be another children's party. That was a real low point for us.
Yeah, listen, I'm
Did
not
they
doing
just
the
have
clown
you
act
juggling
again.
axes?
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, I don't want to be the target of your axe throwing trick again. Thank you.
You're too twitchy to use pricing.
So, as the big feed closes, Ellie, you see that the file, like, it's some contact details, it's coordinates, and it's basically you were used to seeing kind of job briefs like this from your time in the underground, where they were handed out by Merry and his crew from the job center. But yeah, it's obviously part of the problem with being independent is that there's no one there to kind of vet your jobs anymore. But you've known Red for a few months now, and she's been trustworthy up until now. So yeah, you have a pretty good idea that this will be a good job.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
So, what is it, Cat? What's the job?
Well, I don't know yet. We've got to go meet with talk with Mr. Smith, I guess.
All right.
So, as you kind of look over the details, you hear a voice kind of shout out from the next room over, "I'm hungry!"
Get yourself a sandwich then!
But why can't you make a sandwich?
I'm busy, I've got work.
I'm busy!
With what?
This?
What's this? Come into the room, Josh!
Fine. And Josh, your younger brother, who's probably like 12?
I think he's more like 13, 14.
Kind of comes in and he's on his comlink just kind of tapping away, just and he kind of rolls his eyes at you as he's kind of blink plonking away.
You on that game station again? Kids these days don't know how to
I've told him. I mean, I'm not exactly the best example, and she sort of gestures to her deck. But maybe if you tell him a bit more, he'll bloody listen.
Josh, you want to go hunting squirrels one day? We'll go in the park and we'll go hunting squirrels.
That won't draw attention at all.
Josh just kind of looks at you with this kind of sneer and like,
what? Good eating.
And like he doesn't say anything. He blows you off. He kind of goes to the fridge, and he just kind of gets out some bread. He gets out. You watch him. He gets out some bread. He gets out the butter and that, and he just kind of gets the bread and just wipes it across the top of the tub of butter, like rather than use a knife to spread it. He just.
God, I
but
hate
no
so
no
much.
filling, and then he kind of kicks the fridge. The fridge door doesn't close properly. The butter's still out. The bread bag's open, and he just.
I'll go about picking up the butter, closing the fridge, and just doing the right thing without saying anything to cause an argument.
Like, sometimes I think we should just set him free in the city, like the wild animal he is. Like, God.
As he's about to leave the room, he turns around. And he's got a mouthful of just badly buttered bread, and he. I'm gonna be out long.
As long as it takes. Sit tight.
Okay. Can we get takeout tonight?
If it pays well enough, sure.
Cool. And he kind of disappears into the room, closes the door, like slams the door, and then it opens up again and don't get shot. And then he disappears again and slams the door a second time.
It's nice to know someone cares, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Is there anything you guys want to kind of quickly chat to each other about or catch up on before we head to the job? But head to the meet, sorry.
So Marcus, we can. Who's this Red? We can trust her, or you can trust her?
Yeah, I think you made it before. Yeah, trustworthy.
She's on a job. Wait, was Price on that job when we met Red?
Yes, yeah. So you've all met Red in the immediate aftermath of the hub, which was the base of operations.
Oh,
for
she
the
turned up in the
underground
van.
She
Yeah,
She's the one in the van. That was
She
it.
came to
That
our
was it.
rescue.
Yeah,
We originally met Red
that was Red.
on a mission. We were going in to find some information. She and her team were on looking for pretty much the same information, and we kind of came to blows a little bit, but it all worked out.
Yeah. No, I remember Red now.
Yeah, so Red's got her own little. She's got that
little group.
Suit-wearing troll, Ronnie, the hacker, Spider, and the Asian, like the Chinese elf.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was a bit like in Shaun of the Dead, where the two groups meet, and she was the better group.
She was the better group. Yeah, in the alleyway.
Yes,
that's
that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Remember it. It's all coming back. And we just went to the pub.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
So, yes, you. Yeah, so is there anything you guys want to catch up with each other before we head out?
Marcus, do you reckon this is a 1-axe or a 2-axe kind of job? I mean, I'm obviously going to bring Bernice, but do you reckon Delilah needs to come as well?
I mean, yeah, just pack it in a bag. You never know if there's trouble or not.
Yeah, I'm going to bring them both. Yeah.
Bryce, are we taking your car again?
Yes. But yeah, we've all fit. I'll get the sedan. I'll pull it out the front. I'll bring it around the front. I've just had it all waxed, so it'll be good.
All right.
You know, we haven't had a lot of jobs that give me plenty of time to clean it out, get all that crap out the back that there you left in there. But never mind. Don't wait, it's done. It's all tidy.
Wait, you didn't? I left my assault rifle in there. You didn't pull that out, did you?
Oh, no, it's polished.
All right.
Just a bit of, just a bit of fairy, spray, took the dust off of it. It might be a bit slippery. You're fine.
I feel like Price is hanging on by a thread right now. It's like, it's okay, I'm polishing everything, I'm making the tea.
Everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Nothing bad happened.
You threw out my driving beer.
No, put the new ones in. He quickly goes to the fridge to grab some more to put in his pocket to put in the car by the time we get down there.
All right, oh good.
Okay, so, as Price kind of heads out, pulls up the sedan to the front of the flat, and you all kind of climb in. I mean, this sedan that you have, this luxury sedan, Price, it's the only kind of leftover you've got from your life before. Because you used to pretty much live and operate out of the church that you worked at, but in the aftermath that was raided by NLPD, and you just can't go anywhere near it, so you've effectively had to leave home with nothing but the car.
Hence the twitch.
But yes, so as you kind of put in the coordinates of the meet, Ellie, you see that it's basically just like a secluded multi-story car park. It's a sort of place where the only people that will know you're there are people who happen to be driving past as they're finding a space to park, or kind of low-flying reconnaissance drones and the like. But luckily, as you ascend the floors of the car park, you see neither. And as you get to the 24th floor, like level, you see that the floor is empty except for one kind of black company car, blacked out windows. And oh, hello, Daisy. And as you approach, and sort of like pull up, you see that there's kind of no movement in the vehicle. What do you do?
They just flash the headlights. I think they do that to get people's attention.
Okay.
Doesn't Bear have thermographic vision? So he can
I do actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
I do.
So yeah, Bear, as you through your thermographic vision, you can see that the engine of the car ahead of you isn't warm. So clearly they've been here for a while. you can see that you can just about make out through the bodywork. There are two kind of warm spots inside, and oh hello. And as you kind of all get out of the car, you watch as one of the company car doors opens, and a late middle-aged man steps out. And he kind of carries this sense. There's a sense of authority, a sense of confidence about him. Marcus, from your time working for Hades,
Yes.
Hades Macro Technology in America, you kind of recognize this kind of company man, this successful company man.
Marcus will tip his hat and go, "Howdy."
Okay. Yeah, you assume this is Mr. Smith. He closes the door of the company car and he walks over. And as he stands before you, you see him studying you all one by one. He pauses for a moment when he sees Bear. And yeah, from the silver streaks through his hair to the precise creases around his eyes, it's clear that Mr. Smith has this kind of cultivated look that's been designed almost to convey experience. Ellie, you notice, like, just from the hem of his sleeve, like the end of his sleeve, you can just about see the telltale sign that the hand is cybernetic. And Marcus, you can see that there are kind of lines running under his skin, some of them running to a cybernetic blue eye, but otherwise his cyberware is hidden under realistic synth skin, so he just kind of looks like an old school businessman.
Right.
And as he looks to you, he says, "Good evening. I understand you are the mutual friends that Red has spoken about."
That's right.
Very well. My name is Mr. Smith, and you are?
We have a name? We just give our real names.
Real names or runner names if you've got them. But
Hi, nice to meet you.
Mr. Smith nods.
I'm Bear.
Charmed.
Charles.
Charles.
Call me Cat.
Good evening, Cat. Thank you for your prompt arrival. I'm afraid with this job opportunity I have for you, time is of the essence. So I would appreciate your cooperation on this matter.
Sure.
I hope you have heard of the corporation known as Auga.
Can't say I do.
He looks around. I reckon, Ellie, you probably would have heard of it. So Auga.
Yeah. Sounds like my thing.
Well, yeah. So Auga is a somewhat new. You've seen some news about it. It's an up and coming corporation that recently set up shop in London, and like it was in the UK. But you don't really know much else about it. So yeah, Auga are fresh to these isles, and they currently have an asset of ours that we would very much like to retrieve.
Okay.
The job, if you would accept it, will involve the retrieval of the said asset and ensure their safe return to us.
Like, when you say asset, what exactly do you mean?
To myself and my associated benefactors.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So at this point, so during a get the job, you can ask questions. Mrs. Smith will kind of give you answers. Eventually, there will come a point where actually, who's taking the lead on this role, on this meeting?
Marcus.
Marcus?
Yeah. Okay.
Sure, friend.
Cool. So, Marcus, if you open up your character sheet,
Yes.
and then you roll me a get the job move. So if you click on the icon, it should...
Ooh, roll edge. Cool. Right. Here we go. Did that work? Did that not work?
No, okay.
Oh, there it is.
Did I roll twice?
No, that's it. Partial.
Partial success.
Cool. Okay.
Alright.
So, so between the four of you, you can choose one of those kind of outcomes, and then we'll feed that into the narrative of this job meet. So,
Okay, so do we each choose one,
We-
or do we just
Just
agree?
one.
you get one. So, and Marcus, you've got the final say because you're the one kind of leading the negotiations. But yeah, so the employer can provide you useful information. The employer can provide you useful assets. The job pays well. The meeting doesn't attract attention, or the employer is identifiable.
I want money.
I'm all for information, to be honest, because I think he's been quite cagey. I need more
Yeah,
about the
I think-
asset.
I think information is good, or gear perhaps.
Nah, we can always buy gear. Because
Well-
so intel and / gear are like tokens we can use later on, right? They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're like story
Things we'll bring into play
Absolutely.
during the job.
Yeah.
Or we could wing it.
expendable. We
Just
can
wing
either
it.
go for intel or pay well. Bear, what do you want?
What do you reckon, Bear? Yeah.
I think, yeah, Matt would probably go intel, but I think Bear would go pay as well.
Money.
Yeah.
So, just as an aside, the way payment works, kind of flashing forward, when you take a job, you stake your cred. So you're basically gambling. You can put forward 1, 2, or 3 cred, and if the mission goes well, you get double what you put in. If the job pays well, you get back triple.
Oh shit!
And obviously, if you fail if the mission fails, then you lose the cred.
Let's go with intel. Let's go with intel. And we can get money later.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So we know that you're going to get some intel, so we can kind of work that in. But yes, Mr. Smith has outlined the very vague outline of this job. He wants you to retrieve an asset from Auga.
Will they? Okay. Can they give us more information as to
Yeah, absolutely.
where the asset's located and
What is?
sort of the threat level?
What,
we get-
what is it as well?
Like,
Are we picking up a piece of technology, some information?
A
Like, what are
person,
we picking
yeah.
up?
Yeah.
right?
How heavy
What-
is it going to be? Are we going to have to
Yeah.
carry it over a shoulder or in a sack or?
In a truck. Yeah.
Partner, you
In a
might need to
bucket.
give us a bit more information on as to what we're doing.
Okay. So yeah, Mr. Smith says the asset in question is an operative that was that I have been tasked with retrieving. This operative was performing a duty for us when they were apprehended by Auga, and they are due to be removed from the complex by Auga counter-espionage team somewhat soon. Hence why time is of the essence. So yes, we would like you to go in, retrieve our operative, ensure that their safety in the extraction. And whilst you're also there, we require you to sabotage the facility's computer systems. Now, don't worry, I have an attack program which may be loaded into a cyber deck, he says, and his eyes fall on you, Ellie. All you need to do is load this attack program into the facility's computer systems, and the attack program will do the rest of the work. It will be a point and click.
How do you spell Augitech? Augritech?
So Augatech.
Agritech?
Augatech is spelled like this. Augatech.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, sabotage the facility's computer systems. Point and click.
Right. Do you know when this operative's going to be moved?
Within the next 24 hours. So realistically, I would require you to head to the facility as soon as you can. Once Augatech's counter-espionage team retrieves our asset, picks up our asset, we will not be able to guarantee the safety of the said operative. And it would be a shame if the information held by the operative were to fall into the hands of a competitor.
Right. Could you give us the identifiers of the operative? Know what they look like?
The Mrs. Smith, like, you see his nostrils flare a little bit. And
Are they a dwarf, troll, human, elf? I don't mind. Just gotta know.
there's like a momentary grimace as you kind of ask him this question. And he kind of gives you a look, and the operative is an orc, for what it matters.
All right. Pick up the orc. Smash the computer. Get out. Got it.
If there's, would you like to? I assume you're taking the job. Yes.
Sure. Pays well enough.
Marvelous.
I don't have a choice.
In which
Oh
case,
yes.
he hands out he holds out the attack program that you can load into your cyber deck, and then he says to you,
Here, Bear, this for you.
included on that is some additional information which you may find useful for the run. Make sure you put it to good use. I patiently await your return upon success.
All right.
And with that,
Works for me.
he kind of tilts his head, he nods his head to you all, and then he just kind of pulls his waistcoat, fiddles with his buttons a little bit, opens the door of the car, gets in, but doesn't look at you, doesn't say any more, and then the car slowly glides away. So,
Marcus, where are we taking your friend to once we've found him?
I'm sure it's on the stick. Put it on there.
Oh, okay.
So, when you have taken this job, first of all, everyone declare how much cred you are staking on this job. So, as I say, you can put forward 1 to 3 cred. If you put 3 cred forward, you will draw more attention to.
Yeah, we basically got up like 1 threat level.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It might be interesting as like a game mechanic that one of us decides to bet 3 each time. Because if we do all 4 of us at the same time, it's gonna be chaos. But maybe we can just have one person bet 3, and then we advance the threat clock, and then we kind of go as a round.
Well,
So I guess you bet depending on how confident your character feels about the job, right?
yeah.
So this sounds pretty easy to bear. Like, go in, grab an orc, smash a computer. He does that all the time accidentally.
Don't smash the computer. I need to be able to load the program.
Right, shoot the computer. Got it.
No.
I thought I was our attack program. Why do we need another one?
Yeah,
This is the attack program that messes up all the tiny numbers that live in the computer, that you can't just smash them. So that's why we need a second small one, because you can't get in the computer, but this one can.
Well, yeah.
Imagine a little
Wait.
there in the computer.
With his axes.
Little Wreck-It Ralph. I'm going with 1 because last time we just went into an office to just upload something and find someone, it all went horribly wrong.
It really did.
Even in
Ellie's
pride,
going. Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
going with 1.
Ellie's going for a 2. She's pretty confident in her role in all this.
Okay.
Should I bid? I'll bid 2 for the first run, and then we'll see if
See how we go.
start bidding 3s maybe and go crazy.
Yeah.
So,
So is that the mission clock that gets hot if we're bidding high?
Yes, correct. Yeah, if above 3,
Okay.
it goes forward one clock.
If it gets to the end, we fail the mission, don't we?
yes.
Yes, everything goes.
Everything goes horribly wrong. Okay.
Heavily armed guards appear and shoot us to shreds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Every
yeah.
session.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. As you can see on screen, there are a number of clocks, like doomsday clocks, that start at noon and work their way up to midnight. If a clock hits midnight, then bad stuff happens. If it is your harm clock, that is a representation of your health and well-being. Legwork and action clocks, they are specific to the missions. They kind of are an indication of how close to your cover or the mission being blown you are. You'll also notice that there are corporation clocks, and there are 5 corporations in play in this session. Because of the actions of the Westminster attack 3 months ago, Blue Tree are on relatively high alert. So you notice that Blue Tree are already at 6 o'clock on their clock. So as you do more stuff, as you become more kind of publicly known, you'll find that clocks go up. You can make steps to reduce clocks, but it's costly to do so. So for every player that stakes 3 credit on a job, the legwork or action clock advance the action clock by 1 first, then the legwork clock, and then you continue to alternate. So sorry, how much credit is Bear staking?
Oh, well, I think it was going to be 3, but I think after Kat's explained that it's not quite as simple as just smashing the desktop to pieces. He knows that she knows more about this stuff than he does, so he'll go back down to 2.
Okay, so going down top to bottom, we've got 2, 2, 2, 1. Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Okay, so this doesn't draw any kind of additional attention.
yeah.
So
We just have to remove from our inventory the cred we spend. Like it's gone basically.
Yeah. So
And cred is like an amalgamation of like money, reputation, and like contacts and stuff basically.
Absolutely correct. So with the job in hand, you now you're now able to head home and begin your legwork phase. So what you know is what you know, but there is presumably more stuff to learn. So if we start from the top down, so Marcus, what are you thinking of doing for the preparation for the legwork?
So I've got a move which is called I love it when a plan comes together. So this is a soldier move. And it says at the start of the mission, roll edge. So is this the start of mission or not yet?
So okay, if you're oh okay, you've already rolled it.
Sorry, I thought it was going to post what it does.
No, that's fine. Okay, so that's just to show what it is. So when we have a plan to come together, then we can roll that. So this will be the last thing. This will be the end of the legwork phase.
But it advances the legwork clock
if you screw it up. So
so
when you have a plan, because you've got to start telling people what the plan is to do it, and we don't know what that is yet.
Okay, but I get 1 hold. Okay.
Okay, so
First things first, Marcus will definitely go scout the building.
okay. So you're going to scout the building. So, as an aside, sorry, you have accepted the job.
Yes.
So everyone can mark an experience.
Ooh, okay.
Where do we do that? That's
On
XP on the character sheet.
your XP.
Mhm.
So you have some mission directives. So retrieve the operative and use the attack program on the Auga Tech systems. Those are your directives thus far.
Nope.
So Marcus, you're gonna scout out the building, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. What's Ellie gonna do?
Ellie's going to do some online research, obviously, looking at finding a bit more out about Auga Tech and kind of like what kind of company they are, what we can expect to find there, and also how hot is security.
Okay, so you're going to do research.
Dan,
Yeah.
is it possible to write on the board like one intel so that we know we have that to use? But we probably want to use that during the mission.
I can go one better.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Okay, so you've already got an intel. Okay, so Ellie's going to do research, and then you're going to do security checks. Anything else? Sorry.
Oh, no. Find out about Auga Tech. Figure out what security's like. Maybe see if I can get a floor plan of the building so that we can start guessing where our asset might be being held.
Yeah, so things like the floor plan, that could be a reward for the research.
Yeah.
Cool. Bear.
Yeah, so Bear is going to call on his contact Ferret, who is the sort of low life that pulled him out of the dustbin behind the noodle shop where he woke up. And he's just sort of general reprobate, so Bear assumes he knows something about everything dodgy in London.
Okay. Okay, so you're going to approach Ferret and Price.
I thought I might try and see, talk to some of the actual staff. Actually get friendly with someone who might be in the building and corporation. So even if it's just seeing where they generally go for their coffee or where they go out for the day, and just slowly wingle my way into just being that nice, friendly local person who gets to know them all.
Are you going to meet them at Costa of Starbucks?
Yeah.
Just be like, hi.
A bit of manipulation and assessing the sort of like situation for that. Even if it's just getting in with like the cleaner people, the ones who just generally have general access to the building in different areas to contacts inside.
Nice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, in which case we've got some plans here. So, first off, because I think it'll affect kind of everyone else. Ellie.
Yes.
So, you're wanting to do some research into Auga Tech. Is there anything in particular that Ellie is kind of targeting? Because is it like any particular bits about Auga Tech, or are you just kind of getting a general gist of Auga Tech? Or
first of all, it will be general gist. Who is Auga Tech? What are they working on? Sort of that's sort of known about generally. Then it will be kind of more specifics, things like their security, like floor plan of the building. That's the kind of stuff I'm aiming to get to.
Sure.
Hopefully.
Okay. In which case, if you open up your character sheet and if you could roll me a research as you jump onto the matrix, the public matrix, and start kind of looking around initially.
I'm just looking for the research move in my list of moves. There it is. So this is a mind roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you click on the icon.
I need to ask a question first, I think. It says ask a question from the list below and roll mind.
So roll and then you can ask questions.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh boy. It's a 5.
Okay.
MC will answer a question and make a move.
So, Dan, we rolled 2d6,
Yes.
right? And above a 7 is a success or partial
So,
success.
yeah, so
I can't believe I rolled a 1 and a 2. I've got +2 to this
And,
roll. I've still only got a 5.
And the average,
So-
average should be.
So yeah, the mechanics are a 10 plus is like a strong success. A 7 to 9 on 2d6 is like a partial success or partial failure, depending how you want to look at it. And then 6 or less is a complication. So it's not necessarily a failure, but there is a complication. So, Ellie, as you do your research, what is your what is the question you want to ask?
The question would be something like, how secure is this place, this Auga building
Sure. Okay.
that we're hitting?
So, in which case, as you kind of do your research, and so you start on the in the public domains, right? So there's nothing wrong there. So what you discover is that Auga, which confirms your suspicions from earlier, they are an up-and-coming corporation. They operate in the competitive cybernetic vision enhancement market.
Right.
This facility that presumably is the one that you're going to be raiding is the first in the UK. It is based in kind of outer edge London, and I mean, because of it, like, it's going to take a fair while to get to it, but yeah, so yeah, you can't spend too much time kind of sniffing about, especially if like you've seen that Marcus is going to scout it out, and you know that Price wants to go schmooze with the staff. So by the time Marcus gets there, comes back, goes there, comes back, like, it's gonna take a while. So,
Okay.
in the public headlines, you also see that last month, Auga made headlines as a defendant in a class action lawsuit against them. The lawsuit alleged that they deliberately released damaging optics into the market, and there were a number of looking at it pretty nasty looking injuries from people whose eyes caught fire for all intents and purposes.
Oh, good lord.
Worst version of Nokia phone.
Yeah, fortunately didn't kill them.
Right. Pretty nasty.
And so yeah, you see that lawsuit. They were defendant. It's not really. That's still kind of up in the air. It's probably kind of been settled out of court a little bit. Like some of the complaints have just kind of fallen out. But you know, opinion towards Auga is low. Stocks have dropped quite significantly. The value of Auga has kind of plummeted.
Okay. To know.
So the facility itself, you can see from its public records, the facility is a small lab in an industrial park near the motorway, one of the outer motorways. And looking at the picture of it, it's kind of the building has been photographed, probably edited, to look like this kind of serene, this quaint little building, and there's kind of lush grasses that kind of roll around it in kind of all directions.
I'm sure it's gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Definitely not on an industrial estate somewhere.
So that's what you get from like the public stuff. As you go in a bit deeper, as you go into like the proper Matrix and start kind of going into the secret stuff, you like effectively when you jump on the Shadowrunner networks and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably even contact my my Matrix contact about it, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, but we'll have a look at that. So,
yeah.
You see the chatter that you see from like fellow Deckers is that because of the lawsuit, some of the major corporate players, specifically Blue Tree and Genesis Life Tech, who are are a big UK bioware, cyberware, body, physical enhancement corporation. They are using the opportunity to position for a takeover of Auga.
Hmm.
You see that there's also talk. Someone speaks about there's a new state-of-the-art camera and electronic detection system that's being developed and used by Auga. But as you kind of look into that, and like you see talk about it, and as you kind of delve in, kind of poke at their systems to see what what you can make of that. You perhaps it was early in the morning or late at night, and you're a bit sleepy, but an alarm. You don't see the IC until it's too late, and an Auga IC sees you, and you see it kind of set off a little program, and you recognize that it's just set off an alarm. It just does a little trace on you because it doesn't understand what this little program doesn't know you, doesn't recognize you, and it begins to trace you, but you manage to kind of pull the plug. However, yeah, it does kind of ping back that someone was sniffing around. So the legwork clock for the mission will go forward one.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
So what did we find out? We found out about a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And
the fact that there's a Blue Tree and Genesis Life Tech are positioning themselves to take over Auga. And we know they've got state-of-the-art security, which is now a little bit more on edge because of me finding out about it.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oop.
This is life.
So.
Shadowrunner life.
Yeah. So with that in mind, let's jump to Bear. So you're looking to contact Ferret.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to search, the alley where he found me, because I know he routes through the bins there sometimes, but all the sort of shady spots nearby where I've found him in the past.
Yeah. Okay. So, tell you what, if you open up your sheet and you roll me a hit the street.
Yes.
What race is Ferret?
He is a human. I was just thinking though, because I'm guessing I would have made some dwarven contacts who might have sort of adopted me as this odd.
So here's the thing: if you're gonna use Ferret, then that's already done. Like we brought Ferret over from our previous campaign. If you want to introduce a new dwarven contact to the narrative, we have the ability, so you can actually create a contact.
I was more just thinking in order to find Ferret, I might ask around.
Okay.
A couple of dwarves that I know. They don't have to sort of be named people, but just.
Okay, so yeah, at the bottom of your character sheet, you have got a move called Declare a Contact, and that will, it allows you to create a brand new contact with which if you're talking to someone we haven't discovered yet, then you have to declare the contact, and then we create them now.
Okay. So how do I actually roll it?
So in your character sheet, so are you going to go look for some dwarves first?
No, I'll just go to look for Ferret.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in which case, if you roll hit the street.
And how do I actually roll it? I can see it in my character sheet. But...
click on the icon.
Okay.
Okay. So, you have rolled a partial success. So you can choose. You have to choose. So you're going to get the information. We know that much. You need to choose 2 complications from the list. Your request is going to cost you extra. Your request is going to take some time to put together. Your request is going to attract unwanted attention, complications, or consequences. Or your contact needs you to help them out with something. If you turn them down, take -1 until you make it right.
Okay.
So you're able to find.
Yeah.
Ferret,
So this is the process of finding Ferret has cost me this. Not.
So this will also include the conversation with Ferret.
Okay,
Wow.
fine. Well, he's pretty Weasley, so I imagine he would want something in return.
So whenever you hit the street, you get a -1 now.
If I don't do it.
Yeah.
I'll make it clear to him that I don't have time to do anything now, because Marcus would have said we're in a hurry. But, you know, if it's not too hard, I can do it later.
Yeah. So if you choose to, and then I'll work it into the narrative.
Yeah. Yeah. So he can ask me for something in return, and yeah, we're in a hurry. So
either cost you extra or complications.
Yeah, probably the unwanted attention complications, I think.
Okay. So okay, in which case, so Bear, you have left the flat to talk to people in the only way you know how, which is face to face from an uncomfortably close distance. And as you kind of basically go from one tip, one dump to another, just kind of looking around for this disgusting little man, you eventually, like, you speak to some people and they kind of point you in the right direction. Can you give me a real quick physical description of Ferret?
Yeah, he would be wearing pretty small guy, pretty skinny, sort of balding or with kind of straggly, sort of straggly grey hair, sort of shoulder length. Yeah, sort of balding on top.
Yeah.
Long brown coat, very dirty coat.
Okay, cool. So as you see him, like, basically it's in a landfill site, and you find him just kind of the bottom half of him hanging out the side of a skip, the top of a skip, and like he paws himself free, and he's got what looks to be like an old style HD TV. You know, those like 4K TVs from the past. He just kind of pulls one of those out and turns to look. He looks at you and, oh, it's mine. I found it.
Can I grab him by the leg and tip him back into the skip? And just like angle him there.
He tips back in. You hear a crash, and you hear, "Oh, you shit! You broke the screen! The fucking and he pulls himself out and kind of can't quite get his leg over and just kind of flops, lands on a heap on the floor in front of you, and he sneers as he looks up to you and, "All right, Bear.
All right, Ferret.
I was hoping maybe one day I'll look in one of these skips and I'll find another dwarf who's a bit more friendly than you twat."
What are you? He's got Auga Tech written on his hand.
Yeah.
What are you heard of Orgy Tech? Just like showing his hand.
Orgy Tech.
Orgy Tech. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Come on, I know you've heard something, you weasel.
I don't know. I didn't think you'd be into that sort of thing, Bear. I mean, and he looks at your hand. Oh, Auga Tech. Right. Complete. That would have made for a terrible misunderstanding. Yeah, Auga Tech. They're and he rubs his face and he's just kind of smearing bin juice across his chin. Yeah, I think they're them new up and comers up near the orbital. They yeah, they're alright. They I think they got in trouble. They were like setting people's heads on fire and stuff. But what is it you needing? What are you trying to find out?
Well, some friends and I need to get in. How hard would that be, Ferret?
Well, it depends on if you're all supposed to be there or not.
Let's assume we ain't.
Right, well, I mean, from what I understand, they've had a bit of a bust up recently. There's been quite a lot of activity out there. Some time ago, this orc bird. Actually, you're the second person to ask about it. This orc bird came past asking if we knew any secret ways in, any secret passages. Yeah, like people expect that, you know, corporate buildings still have fucking sewer entrances connected that they can sneak in through. Yeah, she came marching through.
What she look like, Ferret? Obviously an orc. Don't say that, or you'll go in the bin. It's long your TV.
You see that he's already kind of starting to like hunch his shoulders up and kind of stick out his bottom jaw. And when you say not like an orc, he kind of slackens off his terribly stereotypical orc impression. I mean, she was a bit of a looker, if nothing. I mean, yeah, she was a bit right. I mean, it just looked like and he looks you up and down, kind of like one of your sort, but I don't know, maybe a bit more organised. Looked like she was rolling in that corporate paycheck, if you know what I mean.
Right, what did you tell her?
Well, I mean, I gave her a few ways in, you know, told her about some of the shift patterns as far as we understand it, but I'm gonna actually turn the table, because Ferret's answer is going to depend on what this operative told him about her mission. So, Matt, what was the operative supposed to do when they reached the Auga servers? You get to decide what this operative was doing trying to infiltrate Auga.
So what they're actually trying to do, not their cover.
Yeah, so what was the operative's actual mission? And then, again, we weave this into the narrative.
Remind me what the operatives, who they were working for?
So, you...
That's right.
Like, Ferret, as Ferret's explaining it, he reveals that this orc was working for one of the major corporations. This corporation was... apparently there was going to be some sort of buyout. So from what you've learned from Ellie, you suspect that this operative, she didn't say specifically, but you suspect she would have been working for either Blue Tree or Genesis.
Yeah, so I think she would have been trying to gather evidence that senior people in Orchitect knew that the products they were selling were faulty, and they let them go to market anyway. So in effect, that it wasn't just like an accidental fault in these cyberware implants. They knew they were going to hurt people, and they didn't care.
Okay.
So it basically is leverage when it comes to the buyout, I guess.
Okay, so the operative was looking for incriminating evidence.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, Ferret turns and says, yeah, so, yeah, when she told us that she was after some dirt on Augatech, I told her that Stinky Dave used to moonlight as one of their cleaners. And...
kind of ironic for Dave, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. He tries though, bless him. It's genetic, you see. So apparently, like they've got this fancy, like air conditioned, like all the server systems and that, like down underground. So we were suggesting that she might be able to go in through the underground car parks and that, but I don't know, maybe we ain't seen her again, so maybe she just went through the front door like a right bell end.
Alright, well, I reckon your advice must have worked because we know she got in there. So you tell us where the entrance to this car park is and how we get from there into the, what do you call it, the servo room?
Yeah, got like computers and stuff in there. Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing, Bear, right? And he grins and he sucks on his 3 teeth. I've kind of fallen a little bit on hard times, you know. So I mean, you know how it is. We're friends, right? So if you know,
we ain't friends, Ferret.
Right. But like, if you scratch my back, I will scratch your back as well, right? It's just like a mutual thing, you know. We're mutual benefit, you know. So.
You remember how you tried to mug me while I was lying in the bin and I didn't kill you?
Yeah, no. I was just seeing if you were alive. I was only going to mug you if you were dead. So at that point, it's not really a mugging; it's more of a looting. So, I've just got I got a little favour to ask. So one of the security bods up at the Auga facility, basically, he found out that Stinky Dave was trying to skim some off the top, like where he could, he was just kind of going through the lockers and helping themselves to electronics that he didn't think the other staff members would want to keep, right? And
that sounds more like Dave, yeah.
Yeah, so this security guard basically dobbed him in. He's ruining Dave. Like, Dave's on the bottle again. So I just want you to send a semi-permanent message to this security guard, right? Just to, I mean, he was born with 4 limbs, right? But he doesn't necessarily need all of them intact. Right? And there's cybernetics for things like this nowadays, right? So just, just inform him, like, that you shouldn't mess with Stinky Dave. Stinky Dave's a good friend of mine. And a slight against Stinky Dave is a slight against all of us. If you could do that for me, then I can give you the information you need. If you promise me that while you're there, just stove in a few heads.
Okay. Just if this isn't possible, can I just say so? Can I sort of basically intimidate Ferret into dropping that by playing hardball with him? Or if not, that's fine.
Wow.
So, okay, here's the thing. So there is a move called play hardball, which is basically intimidation. However, you can only play hardball if the person you're playing hardball with doesn't follow orders, but doesn't bow to your intimidation. You will actually follow through on your threat.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So my threat is going to be that I'm going to just leave Ferret in this bin and just like drop him in it and like put something on top so he can't get out again.
Okay.
So I'm not going to actually like hurt him, but
right.
I'm going to be like, counter proposal, Ferret. How about I just leave you in this bin like you left me?
He kind of looks to you. So, yeah, roll me play hardball.
Is hardball meat or what is it? Oh, 10.
Look at
Wow.
that. That's how you do it.
Take that bin.
Yeah. I just open it up and go, looks like a long way down, doesn't it? And there's glass at the bottom now after you drop that telly.
Okay, so yeah, you just see Ferret just kind of peer over the side of the skip into it, and he now there's no need for violence now, is there? Unless it's against that plebeian that stinged off Stinky Dave, right? So I think I jumbled up my words. It's more of a polite request, if it's within your power to put a few dents in this guy's helmet, then Yeah, I will be more than happy. But yeah, if you're busy, then yeah, we can let bygones be bygones. I'm sure Stinky Dave can get over it. Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah, he's a big lad. He can fight his own battles, can't he? Fair enough.
right. Yeah, I mean, Stinky Dave, he's a bit of a twat himself, isn't he? So if you're bored, the offer's still on the table. I'm sure Stinky Dave will be very appreciative. But not compulsory. And then he grins at you with his 3 teeth.
I just like pat his filthy coat down, like good answer.
Yeah, good. Right, well, I'll be seeing you soon, he says, like with a slight panic look in his eyes.
Not too soon, I hope, Ferret.
Beautiful, good. I'm glad. Right. Well, excuse me, I need to make it like a tree and fuck off and find another TV because I ain't selling that one now. He says. And he sighs and he goes like trudges off across the landfill.
Aww.
Cool. Is there anything else, Bear?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
We will. So. Marcus and Price. Price, you want to talk to the staff. Marcus, you're scouting out. Presumably, you two are going to go together.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tag team.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, we find. Sorry, just to go back. When you're, Bear, as you kind of leave the landfill, with the information that Ferret said that there's some sort of service entrance through the underground car parks. You notice, just for a fleet moment, like you see that there is a group of, like amongst all the people, yeah, there's all these kind of bedraggled people kind of stood around, right? Just kind of keeping warm around dumpster fire, like bin fires and things like that. But you notice that there is a group of hooded individuals that are kind of apart from everyone else, that seem to be watching you. Like they're not being overtly discreet, but they're not making their presence known. But you manage to spot them, and sort of like they study you for a moment, and you swear you see a flicker of like red light from under one of their hoods, and there's a glint of chrome from the end of one of their sleeves. And like when these two individuals see you kind of staring over at them, you see them turn their heads, they say something to one another, and they just kind of disappear into the shadows. And Bear is not to know, but a threat clock advances.
Oh.
So.
Oh no.
Dum, dum, dum. So yeah, Jake and Anton. So, you're. Are you going in your luxury sedan?
Okay, yes.
I might as well. Listen, if you don't mind, you're spending the petrol money. I'd appreciate it.
That's fine, but put your seatbelt on for your own safety.
Yeah, sure. And Marcus like clips the seatbelt behind his back,
Yeah.
so that it's on, but not actually restraining him.
That's fine. As long as it's not making the
There you go.
beepy thing go off.
It's on. Yeah.
Cool.
So hang on, let me just update the mission log.
We have an accident and I die.
So yeah, so you discover there's easier access through the underground car park, and also Ellie found out that there's potential buyout. Attempt. Cool. Whoop, there we go. So, yeah, as you kind of drive, like leave the central inner Neo London, and start to head towards the north. I guess it'd be the northwest corner. of London, which are kind of very sprawled out. You can see, like, you follow the instructions given to you by the directions, given to you by Ellie. And are you kind of parking nearby and then kind of walking the rest of the way, or are you actually going to roll up into, in effect, Auga Tech's car park?
I think we'd probably park and walk.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as you approach, so it's less urban. It's certainly less urban out here, which isn't saying much. I mean, it's still a grimy, polluted mess. But
Where is it located in London?
it's like northwest, very kind of northwest.
Okay.
Pretty much the outskirts of London.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, as you approach, you notice that the main building, it's a relatively simple, elegant shape. It's not kind of elaborate and bold like the corporation buildings from kind of central city. But Marcus, as you approach, one thing you notice is that the building has clear sight lines in all directions.
Okay.
And there's a field of attractively groomed and low-profile native grasses around that just kind of to give it this kind of idyllic kind of look, as long as you don't turn your head too far either way to see what flanks it either side.
Okay. How many levels, floors?
So there's about 7 or 8 floors, and looking, I mean, what time of the day are you two going?
Oh,
The time of day people grab coffee, so morning.
yeah, morning time, yeah. 'Cause there'll be loads of people around it, walking around, still going to work. So it's not like out of the usual commuter time.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So in which case, you roll up in the morning. You see, so Price, you see that there's like a soy caf van kind of parked in the car park that people are able to go out to. It's clear that, I mean, presumably either this place is cheaper or they just don't have that it's cheaper than the cafeteria inside, or maybe the cafeteria inside has been built because it's a new building. Well, sorry, it's a new purchase. Yeah, so it's about 8 stories tall. Marcus, you see that there are a number of kind of camera systems set up looking around, which presumably is that state-of-the-art camera and electronic detection system that Ellie, warned you of.
So there's a building, and then it's open on all 4 sides. And is it fenced off? Is there like an access gate? Is there?
Yeah. So you, so the fences themselves are just kind of flimsy chain fences.
Yeah.
An interlock chain fence. There's like a proper, a typical like entry booth type thing with the things coming up and the barriers, entry barriers.
I think what I'll do is an assess move.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so tell you what, let's do that one first. So if you roll me an assess.
So I actually don't roll it with edge. I roll it with synth.
Okay, yeah.
Because I have cyber eyes.
Yeah, perfect.
With magnification. Woo, baby! Let go.
Okay. So so
that is. Hold on, I'll re-roll the move.
Yeah. Because your assess lets you roll it with synth naturally.
Yeah. So that's what I rolled, but what I'm actually doing is this. Hold on. Oh, you can actually choose the stat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna re-roll, but please cut my first one. Okay, whatever.
So hang on. It would actually say you gain 3 hold. Okay, so you gain 3 hold off the back of your success. So, yeah, when you closely study a person, place, or situation, quickly size up an opponent or charge situation, roll edge, or in your case, synth. So, you gain 3 hold.
Yes.
So let's.
How about this? Why don't you go to Jake, and I'll just think about what I want to ask.
Yep.
And then Matt and Judy, if you got any suggestions, just type me what you want me to ask.
Okay. So, price. Yeah, you see that there are a couple of people kind of hanging around this soy calf van in the car park, basically. What you notice looking around is that there's, I mean, while there's quite a few cars for, there's a lot of vehicles for like the wage staff, the wage slaves that work in this building.
Yep.
But yeah, the two there's a couple of people hanging around in this van that don't look like they are office workers. So
Oh right, okay.
they look like they're the security.
Right. But I mainly want to just go to the general work lot, to be honest, to start just chatting to them, even if it's about cars in the car park, because I'm quite interested. Got a sedan, looking at getting a new sort of like corporate car. Just trying to find ways of getting to know them and see what sort of like lanyards and things they've got on them for security access.
Sure. Okay. Well, tell you what. Let's retcon then. So the people outside the soy calf, they are just kind of standard office staff. So let's. And are you hoping that would you like to, in inverted commas, make one of these people a contact going forward, or is this a very temporary kind of thing?
Temporary thing, yeah.
Okay. So I think
Even if it's just seeing what sort of part of the workforce they're from, and then even it's then me saying, oh yeah, I do cleaning for a building just down the road, sort of thing. What's it like in your place? What sort of things have they got you doing at the moment? Extra security measures stepping up. We've got some problems down our end, and just trying to find out what's happening internally from their point of view.
I'm going to ask for a fast talk.
Okay.
We're not going to use those normal effects. If you basically get it successfully, then you may choose. You basically if you roll a 7+ or a partial or full success, then you can use research and you'll get a +1.
With my fast talk, I use my magic skill for that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sweet.
did I click it? Let me click it.
So if you click on the little icon.
It's the icon. That's what it is.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, okay.
So when you try to convince something you do, we promise it. Okay, no. So I'll ignore that countdown clock. So as you step forward, there's two kind of officers, like office workers, who kind of look at you as you approach. You see them kind of roll their eyes because they've seen your sort, and they kind of do that fake smile at you as you approach.
Afternoon, evening. How you all doing today?
Yeah, good. They say. It's a guy and a guy and a woman, and they're sipping from their plastic cups.
Lovely day to be out of the office, get a bit of fresh air, isn't it? Do you work here?
The two of them look at each other a bit bemused, and they decide to play ball. And are you new here?
Yeah, fairly new. Always in around to meet new people as well. So good to see you. My name's Price. Who are you? Put your hand out to shake them.
As you hold your hand out, they kind of look at each other a bit confused, and they slowly reach out and shake your hands. The man kind of nods. My name's Shane.
Hi, Shane. Nice to meet you there, Shane.
And
it's a lovely name.
And the woman blinks a few times. I'm Chantel.
Shane and Chantel. Lovely. You been together long in the company?
He has, but I only recently joined. Actually,
it's a bit grueling stuff, isn't it? All that orientation stuff.
Yeah, and like you can see that they're trying to say things, but like you should keep
Just
all going.
Keep going at it. Just keep going at it. Not stopping.
Okay, so yeah, do you want to are you going to effectively get the benefits of research or assess?
What do we need more of? I suppose because you didn't really want to say just more revealing knowledge of what's happening inside and sort of just general work patterns. Like, do they actually have loads of staff who go in at different times of the night? Like, would it be strange if people clocked in at that time in the evening, or is there more of a 9 till 5 system of work? Like, how, to get access to this building, are we going to have to pose as more workers for a plausible excuse, or more for auxiliary workforce, if that makes sense? What's the best way for cover if we're found out in there in the evening, or why would we need to be in there at that time?
Sure. Okay. In which case, yeah, give me a research, and as I say, we'll add +1 to it. So it's an 8. So, you get an intel from Shane and Chantel.
Sweet.
So you get an intel, and what you get to spend that intel. You either get to ask now, or we can use it now or use it later. But yeah, you're asking a question. Which of those questions do you want to ask? They'll answer it, and then you get to take the intel going forward.
Well, that's confirmed. It sounds like a quiz show. Now I'm thinking, we're looking for this person, so I think price would be more direct, sort of like where we'd find whether more like the secure areas for holding unwanted people who have got like security breaches.
Right. Okay. So where would I find blank?
Yes.
Where would I find the person that was infiltrating your offices?
where if people are being caught doing unwanted things, where they tend to be like just put aside for the time being.
Sure. Okay. So as you wear down Shane and Chantel with your bombard of optimism,
is it kind of like you go up to them, you're like, you're annoying them so much that they're contemplating locking you up, and you're like, no, but where would you lock me up if I were to?
Yeah, well, even if it's getting along those lines of like, do you hear what happened to Shane the other day? And he's like, yeah, he got taken away by security. Yeah, they put him. Where did they put him? They took him that place down there, didn't they? And yeah, they're just filling in the blanks as we're going, just for those. It's just like the most efficient HR employee, drilling you for information.
Right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much how it works. So, yeah, basically, Shane tells you that, yeah, there was a bit of a commotion. There was a security breach, about a week ago. No, a few days ago. Sorry.
Yeah, I was off that day. What happened?
So, yeah, well. So basically, it sounds like someone broke in and was trying to get onto the systems, but
first time that's happened, isn't it?
They luckily they were caught by the security, which is kind of surprising because there's not very many of them. But yeah, it's apparently lucky for them. Apparently, they're being kept up on the top floor of the facility, up in one of the executive offices.
Nice.
But whatever's happened is rumbled them. I saw there was a mage going around the offices summoning spirits. So
Right.
yeah, I mean I don't understand all the. I think it's kind of spooky with all these ghosts and spirits and stuff. But yeah, it's a bit weird knowing that there's invisible spirits floating around watching us while we work.
Oh, indeed. Okay. Oh, that's pretty spooky, isn't it? Yeah. Never mind. Oh, shivers.
Yeah, he kind of nods. So yeah, where would you find a naughty operative? Top floor in the executive offices.
Beautiful.
And then that intel is something that you can spend for information later on in life. So, well. So as Price, Marcus, as you watch Price going to go off and schmooze with the staff, you're going round. Have you figured out your questions?
So the question, well, first out of game, Kat learned that there's. Oh no, sorry, it was Matt that learned that there's easier access through the underground car park.
Yes.
Have
Yeah.
have I clocked without using my hold, the underground car park, or do I need to use my hold to actually
So
assess that correctly?
no, yeah. So you're like you would know from what Bear found out is that when we say easier access, it's like the cars can go into the underground car park, and then there's effectively like a access elevator or whatnot into the main
Yeah.
building that isn't through the front door.
Yeah.
Presumably, you're guessing from your knowledge of buildings similar to this that there's going to be some sort of like ID swipe to use
Yeah.
that, but you're not going past the reception/security desk at the front door that the public would need
So
to go through.
the question I have is, do I need to use one of my holds? I've got 3
Mhm.
to determine what is the best way in or out, or have I figured that already from Bear's information?
Yeah, you'd have to spend the hold to know to acknowledge that if you don't want to draw attention, if you can get to that elevator, the underground elevator, and get through the secure, like the ID, whatnot, that's going to be the best way in if you don't want to just go in all guns blazing through the front door.
Okay.
Because it's relatively discreet. There'll be cameras down there, but
Mhm.
there won't be people down there.
Okay, so and tell me, the underground car park, how do you access it? Do you have to go past the gate? So do you have to jump over the fence to get into the underground car park? How does that work in terms of a layout?
So the entrance to the underground car park.
Yeah.
So you've noticed when you came in that security booth to the car park was unmanned.
Yeah.
So if you're able to get if you can get through that security booth, that like automated barrier, then you can get to the underground car park from where you are. Okay. So yeah, the underground car park is just
there's like a pedestrian entrance and then there's a car entrance, correct? There's 2 entrances.
In effect, yeah.
Right.
So
that's one of my holds.
Potential complications you need to be wary of.
So just a second, I'm just checking with Cat and Bear. Should my second question be the complications?
Yeah, I was thinking biggest threat or potential complications.
I think my third one of them. My third one will be the biggest threat.
Are they kind of a bit similar, perhaps?
Yeah.
They are. That's why I think they overlap.
Maybe you don't need to use both of them.
Yeah, don't use both, because I like your one about what do I notice despite an effort to conceal it. That would be nice to do that one. So one or the other.
I'm gonna assess the security. So I want to see what guns they have, how many there are, and what kind of body armor they're wearing.
Sure.
Just to see, like, is it possible to overpower them, or should we just stay away from them? Like, is it just a bobber with a stick, or are they like heavy machine guns?
Okay, so if this is a question of
who or what is my biggest threat in this situation?
Cool. So, in terms of the security, you basically you spend a bit of time kind of loitering around, kind of sneaking around and keeping an eye out. You notice that in terms of physical security, so through various windows, using your synth-eyes, you manage to kind of peer in, and you can. What tags have your eyes got?
Yeah, more at the front, but also I guess inside. They've got magnification and recording.
Okay, so use it like being able to stand away and kind of use the magnification to look in, peer in through some of the windows of the upper floors. You see that each level of this facility has a small contingent of lightly armed guards.
Oh shit.
But there is a better armed and armored response team at the security center on the ground floor.
Oh, so they've got like heavy security here, basically.
Well, it's not like NLPD response teams, but yeah, like the lightly armed guards are going to have like tasers or hold out pistols, but the guys downstairs have bigger guns. And but in terms of what is the threat, it's the fact that actually because of this camera system, they'll see you coming is the big problem. there's no real way of, like, by the time you're in the car park, you'll be on the cameras.
Okay.
So if you're, depending on what time you're going, you're going to get picked up.
We need to turn those cameras off.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yes, you do, Kat.
And so my third question, what do I notice despite an effort to conceal it, or what potential complications do I need to be wary of?
So
I'm asking the group.
I think the concealed things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check the concealed one.
Okay.
What do I notice despite an effort to conceal it? And then imagine, Marcus is using his scope vision to look in and out of the building and scan people and just recording everything and feeding that info to Kat, who's probably on a computer somewhere watching the feed. I'm live streaming is basically what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just a trace.
Secure live streaming, private live streaming, hopefully.
2 words that have never gone. Secure live stream.
What do you notice despite an effort to conceal it? So one thing you notice as you're watching the security teams from afar, one thing you notice is that for a building of this size, security is actually quite sparse. Like there's not that much standing between, like, protecting the building.
Okay.
But
there's like 2 guys on each floor and then more on the ground.
Yeah. So it seems that, and like this, you watch, like you see from afar using your zoom in features, you notice that like Price bugs out away from the soy calf when you see 2 security guards come out, and you just see Price like hurry away. But what you notice just from reading the body language of these guards as they get a coffee is that the security seem complacent.
Okay, yeah. Like
they're not they had a break-in a little while ago, but they just don't. Yeah, they're just a bit nonchalant, and you kind of get the feeling that they assume that a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of security is going to be dealt with by contracted response security. So people coming in from outside to save the day, and also you suspect that the cameras give them an extra layer of force safety kind of thing.
Anything like special about the employees, like the way they go in and out the building? Is it like just like any office, or is it like does it look like it's tightly restricted, the access, or is it just like any office?
It looks like, because this place is far out of the way from everything, like employee security seems to be mainly done on like an ID swipe, like an ID card swipe, and visual verification. So you kind of get the feeling that if you manage to acquire one of these ID cards, that would get you through the booth and get you into the elevator.
And what about buildings like next to the main one?
I mean, they're far enough away that unless you had like long range weaponry, it's not really gonna make a difference.
I can't use a zip line to get into it.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, if you were to acquire, it have to be the distance is kind of sizey, so you'd have to certainly pay someone to get you a zip line launcher that will fire that far, and then you'll be a bit exposed as you.
Also, it must be hella noisy just to fire the harpoon at a building.
Yeah, okay. But it's certainly possible if you want to get to the upper floors.
Price.
Yeah.
Hey, Price, would you like us to swipe one of those cards? Just suggestion out.
Yeah, I could try and grab one. Do you think it's going to be helpful?
Cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, would you like one of those cards?
Sure. Can you get one?
Yeah, maybe.
All right then.
From the security guards or just a general person? Employee?
I mean, security guard would be pretty good. Give us cover. Or an employee. I guess security would be there 24/7, so it might be better.
I am willing to say that one of your intels,
yes,
could be the card.
Could I do that by doing a little levitate it out of someone?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So, are you grabbing Chantel's or Shane's?
Oh, what do I feel like today? Shane. Let's do Shane.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, as
Bit more
basically
believable.
so you hear on comm as Marcus says to you, "Oh, can you grab one of those ID cards?" And you manage to levitate it,
Yep.
Shane's card away from him, and then you see the guards coming and you kind of hurry away
I like
with
that.
this card in hand. So yeah, we use up one of your intels. Cool. So you have entry to the building.
Cool. So what other actions can we do as part of our preps? I'm just looking at the moves.
I mean, when would I be? We need to turn those cameras off or create some kind of fake loop on the feed for the cameras so that they're not seeing us come in. So would that be something I do now during legwork, Dan, or would it be better to do that as we're starting the mission? As an action on the mission.
Probably a mission, right?
Probably
Probably a
mission.
mission
Yeah.
action.
So
Because
Isn't
I
it?
can actually give you a bonus to that if I
Really?
wanted to. Yeah.
yes.
Ooh.
So I can assign, as a soldier, I assign tasks to the team, and you get a +1 on that task, basically.
So
Cool.
in this sense, if Ellie's happy to, like, Ellie can basically stay at home and be like on the Matrix doing things, or you can operate from the car, but the wireless connection isn't as great.
No. Okay.
I think it'd be best to have Ellie in with us because she's the one who knows how to plug in the
Yeah.
attack
I think-
thing.
I'll probably be there, I reckon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good point because you need to upload.
If she's trying to explain to Bear and like
Can you
Marcus how
imagine?
to
Oh
like,
my god.
Okay, so with
No,
with
the
that-
other end. Put the other end in.
The worst Crystal Maze episode ever. Shouting down.
I think in terms of the building, we've done our research, right? We've got the ID, we've seen what's from outside.
I think if we can get in, once we're in, we'll just improvise. It's fine.
There's
That's
there's
how it
some
always works fine.
there's some gear I'd like to acquire.
yeah. Okay, so you can buy gear with cred.
Yeah.
So what is the what is it? Is it the grappling hook?
No, and
Rocket
I'd
launcher.
like to get a holdout pistol with stun rounds, just so I'm not blasting
Stun
people's head
rounds.
off if I don't have to.
Okay. It would seem that you'll need to decide who you're going to get that from. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you to declare your contact.
Cool. So I've had one lined up.
Yeah.
And this is a new contact that Marcus has found,
Mhm.
called the Brass Fairy.
Okay. Yeah. Make a note in your contacts page.
Yeah. And can I describe what I imagine this contact to be, and then
Absolutely.
So the Brass Fairy lives under a bridge in this a strange kind of hovel. And the Brass Fairy is actually a female troll that sells guns out of this hovel. But like from the outside, it just looks like a shack, and inside it's just like an array of high-tech weapons and guns and grenades, just all precariously stacked inside this tiny building. So yeah, female troll under a bridge selling guns.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. So,
Does
why
she
does
move her shack every so often
Maybe,
to avoid
yeah.
being tracked down?
You
by-
might
A
be
different
right.
bridge.
just almost like one of those like pretzel carts
Yeah.
that just pulls open it. Just, okay, so Brass Fairy sells guns from under a bridge.
I'll
Literal
I'll
troll
sell.
under the bridge.
Yeah, I'd like to spend. I think it'll cost me 2 cred. So 1
Okay.
for the holdout,
Yeah,
I think, yeah, because it's a sidearm, and then 1 for the stun rounds.
cool, perfect. One thing I will ask: why does the Brass Fairy owe you a favor, or why do you owe the Brass Fairy a favor?
You dealt with the local billy goat infestation. She was
Maybe the Brass Fairy was tired of like rats infesting like the her shack, her sort of hovel. So Marcus spent like an afternoon with a pellet gun shooting all the rats.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so she owes you a favor. Perfect. In which case, yeah, as you... Okay, so we've decided... We've created the brass fairy. So, sir, if you could roll me a hit the street.
Oh, okay. After I have to hit the street. Shit.
Mhm.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think it's hit the street edge, or is it style? It's style, isn't it?
Style. Yeah.
Damn. Do I get any bonuses to this? Probably not. Let's go. Oh, yes.
Oh, look at you with
Nice.
your great rolls.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it,
We're not on roll 20, are we, with you?
oh,
Okay.
and I get Intel gear, or I don't know, kind of.
Oh my gosh,
So-
she's a little something extra.
So. As you, so Marcus, you get back. You and Price kind of inform everyone else about what you've discovered from location, and knowing what you need, you head out to the Brass Fairies Bridge, which I imagine is somewhere in kind of South London, just over one of the estuary stream kind of things, and it's low light, like it's getting towards evening because of the time it took you to drive back, and just like huddled over this like hot dog trailer, you see this kind of hulking figure in a shawl, and she looks up to you, and oh, it's been a while, Marcus. How can I help? She says.
Hey, Fairy, how you doing?
Oh, back hurts, my knee hurts.
That's right.
I keep losing sensation in some of my fingers, but otherwise I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Yeah. You mind if I have a look inside, see what you got? Need some gear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and here's me thinking you just wanted to take me on a date. Oh, she says. And you see her look around side to side, and then she presses a button on the side of this kind of hot dog thing, and the lid kind of comes open. She pulls it open, and inside you just see this plethora of kind of guns and ammo clips and everything just kind of stuffed in, and she pulls out compartments. And what is it you're looking for?
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna need something that packs a punch. No joke. What do you got?
She reaches under. Shotgun, she says.
Nah, it's something better than that.
She reaches in, kind of rifles around a bit, and pulls out like the rocket propelled grenade, like
Yeah,
the
not bad.
grenade of a rocket propel.
Not bad.
How about something like this? A bit more
Yeah.
more of a statement piece.
No, listen. Actually, what I need to think is this right here, and I pull out the hollow pistol that was probably wedged somewhere. Yeah, that'll do. That's not bad.
Oh, I was thinking you were going for size. Okay. Oh, and
Listen,
anything else?
Size doesn't matter. It's how you use it. That's what I always say.
What else can I help you with? She says.
It's never been my experience.
9-foot troll.
Maybe size does matter. Yeah. And I'll take some stun rounds, please.
Oh, marvelous. So when you say stun rounds, what are you imagining these do? Like, are they just non-lethal rounds?
Yeah, so they're actually in the book. They are gel rounds.
Gel rounds.
Yeah,
Cool.
gel rounds are designed to be less lethal. A weapon loaded with gel rounds inflicts stun harm instead of its listed harm value.
Yeah.
Add the
Perfect,
original harm
perfect.
value. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
That's what I'm using.
And I always knew you were a kind soul, she says as she gets out a couple of clips of gel rounds and kind of hands them over to you. I finally managed to get together that thing that you wanted, that you asked for me for before.
All right.
And she reaches in and she offers you the Intel gear or Arcana as appropriate.
I'm gonna take gear.
Okay, cool. And again, you get to decide what
Yeah.
that is. It's wrapped up. It's a parcel kind of wrapped up, and she kind of taps her nose a couple of times. For that little something special, a little surprise.
Yeah. Listen, don't mention it. It's all right.
Okay. And is there Is there anything else the old brass flary can do for you?
Oh, listen, I'll catch you next time. Might be buying something bigger.
She grins. I'm looking forward to it, she says. And with that, she closes the lids on a hot dog cart, presses a button, it kind of locks in, and then she, I'll be seeing you, Marcus, she says. And then she kind of wheels it off, kind of doddering around like a little old lady with a push cart.
Amazing. Is the pushcart basically the size of a car? Because she's a troll, right?
Yeah, it's almost like wheelbarrow. Yeah, it's just.
Cool. That's what I wanted. So I've got gear, so that's really good for the mission, and I got my jar rounds. Nope.
Sure. As an aside, in terms of buying things, so Jake, you do have access to Arcana, which is like a currency for magical things.
Right.
It's like a magical version. It's a hodgepodge of gear, intel, hold. Like, it's all of them just condensed into Arcana to cover any kind of magical stuff. You can buy Arcana. I believe you have 1 Arcana to spend. I mean, you just have it to go with, and that is a Hermetic Arcana.
Dan, do you want to give my intel to Kat? Because I think that was the.
Yeah.
It's kind of on the USB, so I'll have the gear, and Kat gets 1 intel that she can use.
Sure.
Sounds
good. Cool. Yeah. Sorry. Price. Bear. Your shaman. Your spirits talk.
Have you ever come across anything called a spirit before?
Yeah, well, I reckon the voice in my head is the bear spirit. She kind of guides me, tells me what to do. She's been there since I woke up, you know. Warns me of danger. So I reckon if we run into any, I know they're out there. So I reckon if we run into any nasty ones, she'll help me. She'll help me deal with them.
I think there's some in this building.
Oh, good. Well, yeah, I reckon.
You've got
I
that
reckon
sorted,
they're not that different from people, really. You just punch them hard enough, they fall over.
Good to hear. Good to hear that. Yeah. Okay, no worries then.
So, Price, as an aside, you know that the concept of punching a spirit or a elemental or something is like, they are intangible, right? They are literally made of magic.
Yeah.
So, that doesn't quite compute with you. Price, after this worrying conversation you've just had with Bear, is there any more kind of legwork or considerations that you have before you start the mission? No. So, is there anything on the Matrix that you want to have a look into?
Yeah, I think probably Ellie just wants to do a bit of follow-up research on whether there's any kind of easy ways into the camera security systems so that she can kind of set up that fake footage loop that she wants to put on as we're infiltrating. Just sort of double check if there's any sort of easy ways in to do that without causing too much trouble.
Sure. So I think, so you'd be able to go in. So ahead of time, you'd be able to go in, hack the system, and basically go. Yeah, if you get into their systems, you could do this remotely and just record a clip of of just normal footage.
Yes.
And then set up a program so when you get there, it will then start playing the loop.
Yeah, that's it.
Because you'll need to implement this from home to then trigger when you get there.
Yes. That's
okay.
It.
So
I basically need to do a little matrix run before we go. Don't I?
Yes. So this will still be part of legwork. So first things first, Ellie. You're going to jack in.
I'm going to log in.
Jack into your deck at home. So I'm guessing from the sofa in front of the vid feed.
Yeah.
So as you jack in, you move through the matrix. So as you plug your head in, and your body goes limp as you upload into the matrix.
Okay.
You find just
roll a login check.
Well. So you find yourself stood in this sea of electronic data, zeros and ones flying past you, and and it begins to materialize into, like, the visual overlay begins to materialize over you as you fully step into this sprawling Tron-esque like matrix landscape.
Okay.
And as you as you navigate your way through the matrix at the speed of electronic signal, you find yourself effectively you find yourself in front of a building that has been digitally reconstructed to look like the Auga building, with these imagine the original Windows rolling hills. Yeah, it's that
Sure.
kind of idyllic kind of layout.
Yeah.
And from here, you I would require you to roll me a login.
Okay. I hope this goes better than my last one. It's a partial success.
Okay.
I've got to choose one.
good.
Okay, so you are in. Just real quick, if you also roll me a console cowboy.
Oh yeah, of course. That's a good one. So that went well.
Nice.
Success. When you connect to a secure system, roll mind. You spend 1 hold for any of the following effects. Right. So if my login consequence was an alert being triggered, as a console cowboy, I think I immediately shut down that alert.
Okay.
I go, nope, no, you don't.
So yeah, you stand there and you, for all intents and purposes, as you step onto the grounds to log in, you see a small kind of blue IC that's just kind of hovering past. It sees you and then goes to look at you, but you manage to shut the program down,
Yep.
and it just kind of vanishes. So that
Nice.
spends a hold.
Thank you. Very good.
So you are now logged into the Auga systems.
Right.
So you're in the login gates. So within the matrix, if I don't know if you've seen it, but if you go into the journals, there is a rules matrix journal entry.
Yeah.
So
there is.
for all intents and purposes, you're basically at the login gate.
Okay.
There are building security nodes, building service nodes,
Yeah.
production control systems, R&D control systems, databases, and the root folder.
Okay.
Things
I know
like
exactly. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
things like cameras are located on the building security nodes.
Absolutely, they are, and I know exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to head into the security node for cameras. Please.
Okay. So as you go in, you can effectively the world around you shifts until you find yourself surrounded by curved screens all around you that show. Effectively, it looks like you're looking. It's like a fishbowl lens of you seeing over the grounds. And the one thing you notice as you're in here is that, like, it just looks normal, but then you notice that you see this shape, vaguely humanoid shape, just floating across the car park. And as you look at it and think, what is, like, it looks like a ghost.
Yeah. Could it be another Decker that's in the system?
Well, you notice. Well, it's not. What you realise is that these cameras are attuned to see spirits and creatures on the on the astral plane.
Huh.
So they can see magic.
Awesome. I wonder if I want to loop it or just like fully deactivate it make it look like there's been a glitch at the crucial moment that we're kind of infiltrating, and then it all sort of come back up again, so that it's not like a complete shutdown. Or would looping it still work given the nature of the cameras? Oh, that's cool.
Because the cameras would be sensing you, but you're just repeating the.
But it's repeating. No, that's fine. That's interesting though that they're seeing spirits on their camera system. That's like, gosh.
And it just makes you think about the mention of it being state of the art.
Yeah, pretty state of the art. Okay.
So
can I set up a routine to be ready to loop the network, maybe to sort of take a bit of neutral footage now that I can then loop when we get there?
Yes, absolutely. So you So I think this is a compromised security.
It is a compromised security roll, yes. Okay. Shoot, look at it go.
Okay.
It's a success!
Nice.
Ooh.
I gain 3 hold over the subsystem I've compromised.
Nice.
Very
good.
May spend 1 hold to activate a security measure on that subsystem.
Okay. So I think maybe it. So you've still got 2 hold from your console cowboy.
Sure.
So yeah, you are in control of this system now.
Nice.
So we'll put 3 hold here for you.
Thank you.
So just remember which is which.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you can activate, deactivate, monitor, record, subvert, or loop a camera network. Activate or deactivate a physical alarm. Deactivate or activate an electronically locked door. There are lots of things you can do.
Okay. So it's not just the cameras I've got hold over. It's the physical security of the building. I've got 3 hold over that generally.
In terms of manipulating the routines, these are the things that you can do.
Thank you.
So though, yeah, you can spend a hold to do any of those.
Right, so I'll definitely be wanting to use one of them to loop the camera network, but I'm going to do that when we get there, and then I can keep 2 more hold while we're on the mission, can I?
Yeah,
over
that sounds
things
good.
like doors and alarms. That's going to be real useful.
Sure.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, you pull this kind of control. You've implemented your Trojan in effect, and then you've pulled it through to your cyber deck, so you can control it remotely from your deck whilst on site.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Thank you.
Right. So I think with the cameras compromised, is there anything else? Or are you all
That
ready?
is
I
it
think
for
that's
me.
it.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
So the last step of the planning then is to take all of these aspects and make a plan. Marcus, I hear you love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah. What? So am I re-rolling my?
Oh, sorry.
allowance?
Here's a
Then there's
plan.
his plan. Yeah.
Oh.
So should I make my redo my roll for?
Well, so if on
for-
here's a plan, basically, if you just let everyone know what their task is within the plan, if you decide what everyone's role is going to be, as long as each of you sticks to the plan, you will get +1 on your rolls as you go through.
All right, Kat. Here's the plan. I'd like you compromise the electrical systems and make sure we get inside the building without any technical hiccups. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Bear, you're gonna be running security. All right. Somebody gets in our way, you make sure they get their face punched. All right.
All right, Marcus. Yeah.
All right. Bryce, you're running the Kong game. Oh, what is that?
Yep, hello.
Yeah, Bryce, you're running the Kong game. All right. You gotta distract, subdue, schmooze, whatever you gotta do. Somebody gets in our way, make them change their mind. All right. We'll make them look the other way. All right.
Yep.
Should be pretty straightforward. We get in, find what we need, get out, nice and easy. No shots fired. Unless I'm shooting, but yes.
Okay. So yeah, Ellie on Matrix, Bear on punching, Price on schmoozing, and sorry, what was Marcus's role specifically?
Everyone to whom you assign a task, do I assign myself a task? Is that a thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm also on security.
Okay. So you're the shooting.
Yeah.
Bear is the punching.
Yeah.
The smacking.
Yeah. The Rooty Tooty point is
Price is
shooty.
schmoozing, and
Woppy Poppy stab and choppy.
Yeah.
And Cat is taking.
Ideally, if Price and Cat do the job properly, you two won't have to. But then, if it goes wrong,
there you go. Exactly. If we do our jobs, maybe.
No pressure.
You get
No
a +1
pressure,
to all ongoing rolls as long as you follow the plan.
While we're following the plan, that's pretty good.
And you don't balls up, yeah. So, with that in mind, we shall, as you all prepare to, all go in the sedan again.
Why not?
Oh.
Yeah. Traveling style.
Our escape
As a-
vehicle. Yeah.
As the four of you climb into Price's luxury sedan and make your way to the Augtech facility to begin the run, we will grab a 10-minute break.
Sweet.
Brilliant.
Cool. I will see you all in a bit.
Yeah. That.
In a bit.
Hello, Dan here. If you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below for more content like this. Welcome back, everybody. Hello. So you have successfully completed your legwork and impressively come out very well from it. There was very little detection from Augatech in terms of you lot. So yeah, thankfully Augatech will be caught unawares by your mission. Augatech will be caught quite unawares by your mission. Roughly what time is it that you lot are pulling up to the Augatech facilities?
Oh, we haven't thought about this.
Should we go to like midnight?
We
Like,
could do it.
I was thinking just before work finished, so that
Yeah.
if there's any emergency response needed, then it's all during rush hour, and it'd take them longer to get there, and we can blend into the crowd and leg it.
So at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is this is Neo London.
Yeah.
It's more like 9. It's 9 p.m. People are allowed to finish their day jobs.
Oh, jeez.
Dan, I need to roll my hold.
Okay. Yes.
Or do you want me to re-roll it?
So when you
It's my feature.
hang on, what
that
have
is
you
called-
done? What have you
What?
done?
I mean, what have I done?
So yes, if you roll your I love it when a plan comes together as the mission starts.
Sure. And how does it work again? That is a good question. Ah, there it is. Roll edge. If I do this, will it roll edge?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the same
Cool.
as what I. Okay.
So yeah, same as before. So you gain a hold. Boop. Just bear in mind what that hold is for.
I think I get detected though with a partial success, so the legwork goes up by 1.
That's only on a complication.
Okay.
So on a 7 to 9, you gain 1 hold. So at some point during the mission, you have that piece of gear that you need right now, or you appear in a scene where you are needed right now.
Nope.
So yeah, you can teleport.
Pretty much, I guess.
Cool. So, yes. With the ID card that you swiped Price, you swing it in front of the sensor. The light goes green, and the barrier raises, and you are able to drive into the car park.
When is it that Ellie's triggering? What do people think? When should she trigger her loop? Or is it when we're actually walking in across the car park, or now? I think we did it now, couldn't we?
Do it now. Yeah. Okay.
Can we use hold to loop the camera feed using the footage I took earlier, please?
Sure. Cool. Okay. So yeah, you delete the. So just before you pull up to the entry to the car park, you trigger your system, and the cameras somewhere in the building. A red light stops flashing, and the feed flickers for a moment, and then just shows the evening car park, just looping over and over, with that poor Watcher spirit just floating past casually.
I think I would have been quite careful to choose a fairly neutral bit of footage.
Yeah, okay,
from
that's fair
what
enough.
I recorded earlier, so there's not a really distinctive person like doing this.
Constantly.
Does Cat put like a little Easter egg in it? Like, does she add like a little
Like-
cat that
like-
pops up or something?
Maybe.
Little
maybe.
Matrix cat, I love it.
Oh, her avatar when she's in the Matrix is a little black cat. So
Oh.
that's what.
You might actually be doing the deja vu clip like in the Matrix. with
Yeah.
the little cat that goes
Yeah,
twice.
sure. Yeah.
So, I assume you're driving the sedan down to the underground car park, yes?
I mean, yeah, actually, you're right. I'm just driving.
Good idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, So, as per Marcus's instructions, you take a left, you head down the ramp into the underground car park underneath this kind of public car park, and yeah, it's about half full. You can see that there's some people working late, but it's certainly not rammed, and you're able to pull up, decant from the sedan, and at the far end of the car park, you can see that there is a metal sliding door with another ID swipe keypad in front of it.
Which we have, right? I think we can
Yeah,
just swipe.
I'll hand it over to Kat.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So as you approach the door, as you swipe the card, it makes a little beeping noise. The light goes green. On the display, you see a picture of like McConnell, Shane.
Good old Shane.
As Shane clocks back in after his shift is finished, and you see, like, you hear some whirring from behind the door, and there's a soft
Got his gym kit.
boom, and the door slides open to reveal the employee entrance elevator.
All right.
Okay.
Keeping it tight. So far, so good.
And as you step into the elevator, the doors close behind you. Don't worry, Bear, the thing isn't going to eat you. When you enter the Auga Tech facility, mark experience.
Oh,
Ooh, we did a good thing.
we did a thing. Actually got
This-
something right.
We should just leave. Should leave now before it all goes wrong.
Can we lose
music is-
XP when it all goes wrong?
Thankfully not, no.
Good, good.
Be painful, wouldn't it?
Be owing you XP.
So, on the display, like when you're in the elevator, you can see all the various floors. So you are currently listed as being on B2, basement 2.
Yeah.
So obviously you've got basement 1, then ground, and then there's 1 to 7 beyond that.
I wonder if it would be worth me spending my intel right now to have that floor plan I wanted, which could have been on the attack program stick that Mr. Smith gave us. What do you guys
Absolutely.
think?
Yep.
Just so we know where we're going and not just wandering about.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So we know the operative's likely to be on the top floor, right? But we don't know where the
We
computer
also need the
stuff
server
is.
room.
Yeah.
We know that is somewhere, probably B1, but let's at least
Yeah,
get
good idea.
the floor plan I've got with me.
Could I also have an illusion up for whenever the lift doors open that it looks like the lift is empty?
We can indeed.
In case there's anyone on the outside of the lift when it opens?
Wow.
So good, sir. If you're
Nice.
doing that, I require you to make a.
Oh, I have to do something. Okay.
You can't just say things happen, Jake.
It's not that bad. Whoever tried.
Done.
Okay.
We get the operative just fine, and we win. There we go.
Yeah.
I use
All
my
home in
dual
time for tea.
impulse.
I thought that's what all these counters are for.
So, in your.
Just do one roll for the whole mission.
Yeah.
Keep it.
I'll see you later. Thanks.
In your character sheet, there is a cast a spell move.
Yeah. You mean awakened boost?
Yes, that's it. So,
This would be an illusion.
yeah, if you click on that. So, I believe
Okay.
that is illusion. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't get my focus bonus, but I will get a bonus from Marcus.
If you're sticking to the plan.
Because you're distracting. Yeah, I think so.
Distracting, and yeah.
Okay, I'll allow it.
It's
11.
a very good lift. It's a very empty lift.
So, so you rolled a 10, so it's actually, so ignore what was written there. So in terms of cast a spell, you harness enough magical energy to create the spell as planned. If you push yourself, you can add an adjunct. So you cast illusion, so you may spend Arcana or suffer drain to hide an additional number of people equal to your magic score. So you can spend Arcana to basically hide everyone in the elevator. Your base illusion can only hide yourself or an ally. But
Right.
So you can spend an Arcana to hide everyone, or you can suffer drain, which is stun harm. Like it just taxes you a bit to cast invisibility on everyone.
Let's do the drain. I'm going to keep that Arcana one for something a bit more serious.
Okay. In which case, as you cast a spell, if you go back into your character sheet, there is a harm move. Okay.
Ooh.
So, as you cast a spell, it taxes you a bit to kind of push the magic out to envelop the whole, like all four of you. And as you cast the spell,
The DM chooses what happens, right?
Oh, right.
Oh, no.
Okay.
The MC will choose one. Yeah.
Right.
What does MC stand for, anyways?
Master of Ceremonies.
Ooh.
Okay.
So you cast a spell, and like as you all look down, you notice that your hands are translucent as the spell goes off.
What the?
But pretty much as the spell casts, there's a boom, and the door slides open, and a security staff member steps into the elevator with the four of you. And the four of you are invisible, so you're able to push yourselves into back into the corners as this guy just kind of steps in, kind of rolls his shoulders. Your turn. And then, so as an aside, sorry, with the intel that Ellie spent earlier in terms of floor plan, you know that the server rooms are on B1.
Yep.
And the operative, so 5 to 7 are the executive offices. 1 to 4 are the normal offices and R&D, and then ground floor is just ground floor, and obviously B2 is the car park.
Okay. This security guard is like in the elevator, and he's like, and there's just Bear with an axe over his head, and Marcus with a gun like pointed under this guy's chin.
Yeah,
so
would like gesturing to Marcus like, do it, and obviously Marcus can't see him, so.
Can anyone do a silent, non-lethal takedown?
Well,
I mean, I'm hesitating to actually knock this guy out because we could actually just steal their armor and then just be.
One of us could be a security guard. Yeah.
There's an extra corpse to cart around with us there.
I mean, I would Ellie, are you jumping out at the server straight away because it's the first stop?
I reckon I would have probably done that. Yeah.
In which case, you've got in. You're in the elevator. You've on the car park level. You've just cast a spell. Oh, you kind of knackered yourself out a bit because you cast it as the elevator was coming, and then as the doors are about to close, a hand jams in from the car park side, pulls it open. A guard looks around a bit confused because the elevator's empty, and then steps in. So he's in with you from the start. The elevator goes up and then stops on. Actually, no, because you're invisible and he's in. You won't be able to push the buttons, right? So he presses like floor 5, sorry, to go up to, and you're just stood there awkwardly, the four of you behind him, as you go up through the building. Yeah, and this guy is just like, just kind of bobbing along to the music, as we all do when we think we're in an elevator on our own. Just maybe singing slightly.
Yeah, that's one out. Yeah.
And yeah, so he doesn't know you're. Yeah. So what do you lot do?
We better stop just waiting for him to get out and then go back down. Yeah.
Okay. In which case, yeah, you get to floor 5, and then floor 5, and you hear boom, and the guy, the door opens, he steps out, scratches his ass, and like proper, kind of sorts himself out, pulls out the wedgie he's just given himself, and you see him kind of walk down the corridor shouting, "Hey, Fernando, where are you?" He shouts as he kind of nonchalantly strolls down the corridor, and then the door closes
B1,
again.
B1.
B1, and you straight back down to B1. Okay.
Cool.
Lucky man.
That was a very good idea, Price.
Thank you.
Did you actually take any physical harm from that, Price?
No.
Or was it more of a
Just
you
a
just
7
kind
partial
of
success.
felt a bit drained?
Isn't drain is harm? It's still.
It's stun harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not
Okay,
going to
so you're
die,
harm-
but you could like pass out or something.
Oh, that's the
So
point.
you
Yeah,
harm-
so you do. Yeah, you're begging pardon. So you do take a point of harm.
Alright, so I click 1 on my harm. Okay.
There we go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
so it's all
What-
there.
Right, so
Oh,
what does your spellcasting look like? Is it like obvious to other people?
No, not the illusion and manipulation side
Okay.
of things.
So
No.
Bear's probably just like, once the security guard gets out, he just looks around and is like, wait, where you all gone?
Don't worry, we're still here, Bear.
I'm not sure what happened. You do this, Bear.
Okay.
No, it was me. It's all good. It's all good.
So
Some of your voodoo stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
the lights in the elevator count down, like the display counts back down to B1. The doors open up and you find yourselves in basement 1 in the on the room with the servers. So the first thing you notice is that it's very cold here. Like clearly the air conditioning is set quite low to keep the servers nice and cool, where is it? Main server. Okay, and yeah, it's effectively just like a featureless corridor. This is purely utilitarian, but yeah, as you kind of go through and check all of the doors, you eventually find the one that leads to what appears to be a large main server room.
Can we get through the door? Is it just unlocked?
Shane have access?
So as you swipe, as you go to swipe the card, it flashes red. Sorry, it beeps and then the light flashes red.
Right.
So there's no entry.
Okay. This sounds like a job for one of those security holds Cat's got.
Bear, why don't you hit it? Crack on both door. The axe.
That's fine.
Will that not make too much noise?
We're on B,
all right,
we're on
maybe
B1.
maybe catch.
Try the quiet way first, Marcus, and then I'll hit it.
If there's a way to
Alright.
connect either direct or remotely to the door, the electronic locking system, Kat's gonna use her knowledge of the security system that she's gained already to disable the door lock.
So yeah, from your connection to the servers that you established earlier, you're able to go in and manipulate a system. How are you going to go about manipulating it? Are you just going to have the door unlock, or are you going to update Shane's permissions and security clearance, or
A good idea. Hey, you know what? We're in and out. No one's gonna pick this up in time. Shane is now head of security. How about that?
Promote him. No.
He's promoted.
Okay.
Good old Shane. He's gonna have a real surprise tomorrow morning.
okay.
Congratulations, Mr. Shane. Whatever his name is.
Mr. McConnell?
Mr. McConnell.
So
Yeah, he has complete access to. I mean, within reason,
The
most of the doors
director's
in the
toilet,
building.
everything.
So yeah, you managed to go log into the HR systems. Tell you what, I am gonna as you're moving about, so
Love it.
because you're already in, right? So let's just do use a hold, and luckily, yeah, Mr. McConnell, Shane has just been promoted to head of IT security, and as you kind of hit enter and that processes, when you swipe the card again, it and a green light comes up, and the
Let's
door
go.
hisses as it slides open.
Okay. In we go. Cautiously.
So yeah, inside, Ellie, this looks like a hacker's payday paradise. There's just floor-to-ceiling servers, just rows and rows of them, wires running around, and just like a sea of blinking lights. I think for everyone it might seem a bit alien, especially for you, Bear. and this place just feels real cold. Like there's a chill. Bear, you've got goosebumps on your arms as you kind of walk around. And everyone, you can see the breath condensating as you breathe out. But Ellie, you with your knowledge, you managed to find like the central console that kind of controls all the systems, and you will be able to log in from here. This is a separate system to the one that you logged into earlier, so we will require a new login procedure.
That is fine.
That said, you have got that attack program, so have you loaded that into your deck?
That is all loaded, yeah.
Okay.
It's
In
ready
which
to
case,
go.
as you've loaded it, you get +1 forward to your login attempt.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
if I can have a fresh login, please.
Yeah. It's partial.
Okay. And console cowboy.
Console cowboy, indeed.
Do you not get a +1 to that login?
Do I get? Well, it would still only be a 9, so still a partial.
Okay.
My console cowboy is only a 5.
Okay, so you don't get any additional hold from logging
No.
in here.
No. I'm
but
just in. Yeah.
You're in. So you're in.
I'm in with,
But if you
with,
can choose one, a passive
I choose
trace,
one. Yeah.
ice is activated, and alert
I
is
mean,
triggered.
I'm not too bothered if ice is activated because I'm an icebreaker, so that might be the best one. Let me have a look. Alert is triggered. Access is restricted. How's the mission clock looking? Oh, it's looking fine.
At the moment.
Why don't we advance the mission clock by 1?
We've only been here 2 minutes. That's why it's looking fine.
You've got to choose. Passive trace, ice is activated, alert is triggered, your access is restricted, or, as the attack program loads, you see the additional script activated by the attack program and are not able to stop it. So you...
Oh, I see.
Because these are all negative, these are all complications.
Yeah.
So you can...
So I guess in your hurry to stop the additional script, you then don't the ice activates. I suppose it's like
yeah,
a choice
that
either.
would be it. I guess. Yeah.
Or if you don't stop the script, you're able to stop the ice activating.
Yeah, I think probably gonna let the script run because it's part of the job. So it's not my problem if it also does extra stuff. Like, I guess would be my instinct.
Okay, so as you log in, so you pull the lead out of your cyber deck, you plug in, and then you plug into your skull, like just behind your ear, I imagine, and then plug into the computer. You sit down and you go limp as you jack in.
Yep.
And as the matrix kind of builds around you, you notice that on your visual representation of your cyber deck, you can see the attack program kind of booting up and beginning to load in with you. You see
skulls
this,
everywhere.
You see this kind of virtual, this virus, like this attack program, just kind of goes out and then disseminates into pixels and kind of floats out into the matrix around you.
Right. Am I able to jack out? All right, or
well, so you've not. Yeah, absolutely. So you can jack out at any point. Because you see this attack program kind of filter out. What you notice is that the matrix visualization around you, like as in inverted commas, as these pixels kind of land on various things, you start to see them kind of fitting and corrupting. And yeah, it seems like this attack program is actually a pretty nasty looking virus.
okay, so it's like it's wiping the system, perhaps, or
Possibly.
okay.
You could stick around to find out if you can figure out what it's doing.
I mean, maybe just a little, just see if there's anything I can glean.
Okay. I would argue with you could spend that hold.
Do I want to spend it already? That's my last hold. And as Bear pointed out, we've only been here 2 minutes.
Keep the hold.
I'm gonna keep the
it'll be useful
hold.
if we get-
I'm gonna keep the hold. It's
if we get
fine.
attacked.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in which case, yeah, as you see the matrix, Auga Matrix server start to
Melt.
melt, you Control Alt Delete and kind of jack out, and then you're back in
Right.
meat space.
Right, Mr. Smith's up to something real dodgy here. We need to move quickly.
Yeah, because the other three, as you kind of come back to them, you notice them looking at the screen, and you can see like an error warning, like a warning sign flashing on the screens in front of you.
Quick, let's get the asset and get out.
On the secondary.
Did you do the virus?
I
thingy?
sure
Thing?
did, and probably more, Marcus. We need to go.
All right, let's go.
Do you think it's going to lock all the doors? And, like,
I hope not.
okay,
Yes,
That's why we
Get
need to
back to
move.
the moving metal box then.
yeah.
Maybe I say we take the stairs. Just
Really?
stick in here. Yeah. I say we hoon it up that 8
Limber
flights.
from your cardio.
I don't want to get
Yes,
stuck in a
limbo
metal
up.
box. Unless Marcus or Bear thinks they can get us out of a metal box in a pinch.
Probably Bear.
You're probably right. The stairs is. Let's avoid any further unnecessary.
The less
All right.
we rely on electronic systems from now on, the better, I would say.
Okay,
So-
to the staircase.
So that's what I've.
As you
That's what I've always.
as you
said.
kind of hurry down, the main kind of causeway in this server room, Ellie, as you kind of look left and right, you see that the blinking lights on the various mainframes, they're starting to go out, and it's almost like a tide of errors is kind of following behind you as you go through, and like as you get to the door, the lights begin to flicker slightly, and as you swipe the Shane, the new head of security's card on the ID scan, the
Hot
door
shade.
slides open, but then
Oh,
it stops
Bear.
halfway. The lights go out.
Oh,
Bear.
Shane.
Get it open, Bear.
All right, out of the way. And I just like.
Are there no lights at all?
The lights are currently out. They go out for a second. You hear a boom, as it seems like power's just been cut, and then after a few awkward moments, you hear, and the lights kind of start to flicker back on. You know that they've gone to emergency generators.
Backup generator.
Do you think that's happened across the entire building?
Yep.
Okay.
So as the door then sort of reopened as the backup generator.
The door's still stuck halfway, so yeah, you'll be able to
Yeah, I can try and force it then.
muscle it open. I mean that's fine. Yeah, you muscle it open, and as the whole thing puts the building on somewhat of a higher alert because there's just been
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should do the
That makes
secondary
sense.
mission secondary next time. We should do it.
It's an idea. It's an idea.
If it was there, we grabbed it.
so as so you're taking the stairs, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Not
don't
with all
think we
the
have a
security.
choice. We'll be waiting for that lift a long time.
Okay. So yeah, all of the electronics and systems seem to be kind of back up and at the moment back up and working. But as you're heading up the stairs, who's taking point?
Probably me or Marcus, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So your
I'm behind
your
Bear.
invisibility is still up. You hear a door open as you're going through the stairwell, like going up the stairwell. You hear a door open up above, and you hear some voices saying, "Go down and check, see what happened." And you hear some footsteps coming down the stairs. So you are heading up to ground floor, and this appears to be someone from the ground floor coming down to investigate.
Do we want to just like plaster
Let 'em go.
ourselves against the wall, let them go past?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
They'll
so.
probably have like hands on the banister, if anything, won't they?
Yes, if we go to the other side of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or could we even hang off the stairs? Like if we climb over the banister and like.
What?
That's
Hang
not
on.
a very Ellie or Price move, I'm
No?
afraid.
Okay.
We could duck back into B1, I guess, but that's No, but they'll be coming into B1.
I don't think we want to get stuck down there.
I'm going to try and plaster myself against the wall.
Likewise.
Okay. So,
Does this act under pressure?
I think it. Yeah. If you're okay, so who's on point?
You mean at the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bear and Marcus.
Wait.
Specifically, who's the one at the front of the group?
Bear.
Okay. So Bear, as this guy comes down towards you, yeah, you can either kind of get the group to shield back, which will be act under pressure, or I mean, you can do something a bit more Bear if you like, and
Down the stairs.
introduce this man to Betty and Delilah, whatever the name of your axes were.
Tip him over the
Bernice and Delilah, yeah. No, he's going to be good for now. He's going to follow the plan. So he'll just kind of gigantic ham hands like push them back into the wall.
Okay.
I mean, he's trying to. He can't actually see them. So
Yeah. In which case, if you open up your sheet, and if I can have an act under pressure.
okay.
How does rolling links work then?
Oh, helping, you mean? Help action.
So,
Oh!
tell you
Well,
what.
I can't see you. It's going to be hard to.
Tell you what.
You missed us.
Tell you what, I'll delete that
No,
because it was a
really.
good point. So, in terms of links, you can all decide to links up. Now, I'm going to force you to links up, right? So, you're all on the same. Basically, you're all following rules to help. You've all got a links of +1 with one another. So, basically, Bear's going to roll. He is going to get +1 to this roll. We'll ignore the one he's just done. And then you're all affected by the consequences, whether they're positive or negative. Okay.
Yay.
Hi.
So.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Right.
And
guys.
in fact, I will then give you another +1 ongoing because you're invisible.
Oh, thank you.
So, I've just deleted the original one. If you can roll another act under pressure, and we'll add 2 to it this time.
Okay, fine. Here we go then.
Uh-oh.
What happens if we're all bleeding out invisibly?
Okay.
Jeez. Oh no.
Alright, I guess he just
Time
runs
for a
straight into
fight.
there.
So,
I feel really bad for this poor security guard coming down the stairs.
Bear's
So-
too busy focusing on trying to like wave the others back that he's just stood in the middle of the
But
stairs.
he punched the security guard by accident.
so yeah, Bear, as you're kind of like, yeah, as you're pushing everyone over, you. Like you've got a hand out, you're pushing someone against the wall, and then you lean out to tell someone to shut up, move it, and then this guard boom, collides with the side of you. The guard kind of hits you, bounces off you because you're quite dense, and then there's a moment of confusion, and you see the guard kind of looking around, and he goes to reach for his gun. What do you do?
Is it just the one guard?
Just the one guard.
Okay, so
Throw him over the rails.
I'll
Yeah, right.
probably swear, grab the hand that's reaching for his gun, and then bring my other hand like in a fist and just down on top of his head. Like
Okay, cool.
Just
So,
cut his hand off.
no, just hands, not axes.
and what is the intended outcome of this? What are you hoping to achieve?
Stop him firing the gun, so keep him quiet, and then knock him out before he can shout for help.
Okay. In which case, Bear, if I can have a mix it up, please.
I should be better at this.
Oh god, I hope so.
This is his thing.
And
You get a
Yes.
+1.
you get
Oh,
an
yeah.
additional +1.
Yeah, that's true.
Do I want to link? I guess I could help, right?
Yeah.
If anyone wants to link, you will
Got
only
roll
get
for links,
+1.
haven't you?
Do I have
Yeah,
to roll?
because
I
if you
think
roll
I
low
just-
enough, you'll suffer the same fate as whatever happens.
Yeah, but Bear rolls, and if it's too low, then
They both suffer.
It will affect you.
then I get involved in the
Yeah.
consequence. So I think that's what will happen, is that he'll shoot blindly, and it might hit both of us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to link with Bear, so you get +1 for following the task, which is keep us safe, I guess, or punch people, and then a +1 from
Yes.
link.
All right. I thought you said to roll. No, okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
you have to roll links
Yeah,
to.
link.
Okay.
Yeah, to see how well you
Oh, right.
assess him, how
Yeah,
well you
yeah,
help
yeah.
him.
And is that right? Is there a move?
There is
Uh,
help or interfere as a move.
Help or interfere. Yeah.
Because if you get a partial success, then you are implicated in any
negatives that
consequences
bear.
that mix it
I
up.
roll
So
that.
Marcus,
Well-
yeah, if you roll
Do
that,
you need to?
well,
You don't
I
need
mean-
to because Marcus did so well on that.
because he's declared it. So if you help or interfere, and then on the prompt put +1. Okay.
What does it mean?
So help or
So
interfere.
You
So
don't
I
you don't
go on
actually
the
help.
hit.
Basically, I think that means.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it basically, something like that means that if Marcus did then if Bear did mess it up, you would be implicated with any problems as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so yeah, Marcus, you go to kind of help Bear, but before you get a chance, Bear has jumped up, like brought a meaty, grabbed one hand, brought a meaty fist up, and then boom, just
Meaty
haymakered this poor guard who's just kind of he's hit so hard his head cracks against the wall, he goes limp and just kind of slumps into the corner of the stairwell.
So what I'm going to do, Dan, is basically carry him down the stairs, leave him at the bottom, and then untie his shoelaces so that he thinks when he wakes up, or if someone finds him, they might feel like he just tripped and fell.
Okay.
That's a good idea. That's a very,
Can
very
I,
good idea.
Can I? I don't know if I should do that.
Shoot him in the head.
Can I empty his the clip from his magazine?
Yeah.
I'm leaving the gun. I'm just emptying the
Isn't
magazine.
that-
So if he tries to shoot,
Isn't that taken away from what Bear's trying to implicate, that it's more his own mistake rather than it will be, I tripped up and lost my magazine?
no, but he hasn't lost it. I'm just taking the bullets out of it, so it's still
It'll
there.
look like it was
And
unloaded. Yeah.
Unless he pulls it out, he won't notice.
Oh,
it.
so
Right,
you're
okay.
literally you're taking the magazine out, emptying all the bullets, putting the magazine back in.
Okay.
Right.
So not only can the security guard not tie his shoelaces, he also forgets to take his bullets on duty.
We've managed to get two
Oh.
people fired in one day. So
This is
far.
why Shane replaced him as head of security.
Yeah, maybe.
Right. Okay. Congratulations. So yeah, you managed to in terms of you've sprawled them out off the back of the complication, because I get to make a move whenever you guys miss, right? So off the back of the help interfere, you empty out the bullets, and then Marcus, as you're finishing up, you hear Unit 17, please go situation rep, please.
Seen there's a lot of them.
Am I gonna do the Han Solo guard scene? He goes, yeah, all good here, no problems.
Okay, that sounds like a
no.
sounds like a fast talk, sir.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll fast.
Do a hand solo.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Where is the fast talk? Here we go. Style. I don't get any bonuses to this, so we're gonna just straight up roll.
Okay. But someone will find out. The MC will advance the appropriate clock down. Okay. So as you kind of say, what is it you're saying?
I'm telling them that there's nothing's well. No need to send anybody else. Everything's
Okay.
fine.
Cool.
These are not the
Despite all the lights going out.
Yeah, it's all hunky dory down here.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you radio in as guard 17 down here, and you're able to then kind of leave him behind and make your way up. So which floor are you going to next?
up, right? Wherever the
Penthouse, wasn't it?
It's like was it 7 to 9 or something that it could have been on, or 5 to 7? There was like a couple of floors, wasn't there?
5 to 7.
Well, we should know because we've got the plans, right? So we know it's the executive room.
So the executive
we have the
offices
plans
are
of
on
the building.
floors 5 to 7.
So we've probably got a start of 5, I guess, and
Well,
unless we have a better idea.
From
From what I found out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
from Price's investigations, you found out that the operative is on the top floor.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So the four of you begin moving your way up. As as you kind of ascend up the stairs, and there's a proper like for some of you as you make your way up. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 flights of stairs.
Oh my word.
God. God.
You. So, Ellie, you can see on your cyber deck because it's connected to the network kind of wirelessly. Like there are systems going berserk all over the place. Like lights are going on and off, alarms are being triggered, then shutting off, being triggered, shutting off. Like it's just there's just stuff happening all throughout the building, and
chaos.
It dawns on you that it's just there's loads and loads of chaos, and you can't help but feel like you would imagine of an attack program like this. It's almost juvenile in what it seems to be doing. Like it's just making noise, which just seems very odd to you because it doesn't seem like the MO of Mr. Smith.
Right.
Or like the it seems odd that Mr. Smith would be like, oh, here's an attack program. I was just gonna turn the lights off. Like,
I wonder if it's trying to attract attention, from the police.
Bearing in mind, there's like a giant takeover, so maybe he's just trying to show that the system's crap, so it lowers the value of the buyout. I don't know. I'm just really going
by the police or something, and then they'll find something in there, or I don't know.
Yeah, there's something particular odd happening. So you eventually make it to the 7th floor, and as you like, I think Bear just pushes the door open. Ellie and Price are just behind him, followed up by Marcus. And yeah, when you step out onto the 7th floor, all the lights are out. And you can hear like shouting and kind of panicked talking from a radio somewhere down at the hall. Like it's only lit by the light, the moonlight and street light coming in through the windows.
So I've got thermographic vision. I got dark vision. And Bear has thermographic, so we could make our way around as like a little team huddle. I mean, we're not going to turn the lights on.
Do a little crocodile. Everybody's got their hand on the shoulder of the person in front of them.
Are we still invisible, or is it kind of worn off now? How long does that sort of thing last?
I think it would have worn off by now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So are we happy to go make our way in the darks? Bear can see heat, and I can see in the dark. So I'll be second, Bear in front. And whoever's behind.
Do you guys like look out for anybody coming around corners and stuff? And
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So as you kind of go down the corridor, you can see that like through the windows, like the walls are just kind of glass. They're glass walls from floor to ceiling. Then the ones that aren't blinded, you can see that they are either executive offices or sort of like board meeting rooms, or that sort. All of the furniture inside is kind of plush and high tech or very expensive looking, and so you can hear some kind of shouting around the corner. As you listen out, you hear one voice say, "What's going on? What happened to all the lights?" And then you hear some sort of bloop, 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 as the walkie-talkies are kind of, the comlinks are kind of going off on and off. And Marcus, if you're on point, as you kind of get to a corner and peer around, you can see that of all of the rooms, all of the doors in this corridor, there is one with 2 people, 2 guards stood outside it.
Bingo.
I think Bear is taking
Bear.
point. I'll just be behind him.
So Bear, in which case, as you peer around, you can see like heat smudges of two guards.
Okay.
Stood in front of the
As in the corridor, so not in the room. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just round the corner from you.
Did they look like they're guarding something?
Well, you notice that of all of the other doors in this corridor, none of them have been guarded except this one.
How are they armed? Do they look like they're on sort of alert? They got pistols?
These ones are effectively just like shirt and tie security. So you would suspect they're not holding any kind of large weaponry or anything.
And they're just standing there in the dark.
Yeah, they're radioing. They're kind of on their comm links trying to find out why all the lights have gone off. The door behind, they're kind of panicking because they're suddenly in the dark and they weren't a moment ago.
Fair.
Bryce, can you convince them that we're here to pick up the detainee?
I could try. I don't know
And then
if
if
I
it
do
all goes wrong, Bear goes in with his axe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can shoot from here. Eat it.
yeah, that sounds good.
Let's try the quiet way first, yeah?
Let's try the sensible way then. Okay then. Yeah, I'll walk forward looking a little bit more official. Yeah.
How heavily armed are these guys? They're sort of general pistol and baton type, are they?
Yeah, if you saw them in the corridor, they're like wearing the pastel blue shirt. They maybe have a little badge hanging off their breast pocket.
Right. Do you want anyone to come with you, Bryce?
Yeah, fair.
Oh, look, Soup's the fish, won't it?
Okay, yeah, fine. It's probably have to be Marcus. He's more he probably looks more official for escorting someone, doesn't he?
Maybe if Bear and Ellie set themselves up somewhere on the side where they can jump in if needs be, but
yeah. Sounds good.
aren't immediately visible.
All right, I'll follow Price.
Okay.
Brilliant.
So as you kind of go around the corner, one of the guards kind of looks up and sees you kind of at the last moment in the moonlight and stop there! Identify yourself.
Hey, easy.
It's all fine. We're here for Magtech. We're here to take the as arranged, just a bit early. Something seems to be going on with the security, so we've turned up a bit early to make sure that we can take them now.
Yeah.
Here is my pass.
Move the orc.
Well, and I'll hold up Shane McDonald, even though they might not be able to see him over there.
Yeah, it's a bit dark. You might get away with it.
Head of security.
So the security guards look to you and
God.
wait, you're here to pick up, but you're not due here for another couple of hours.
I know, but as you can see, situations have changed, so we've had to come early. We're that quick.
So I'm going to ask a fast talk from Price, and Marcus can help or interfere if you so wish.
Yeah. Is this part of?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hand him over.
Do I want to?
Give him to
Should
me.
I still do my help?
Yeah. Unless you're being the strong silent type stood at the back.
Do I get a bonus? I probably don't
+1
get a bonus.
with Price.
With a link.
Do I?
Yeah, we've all
And that's
got
a 13
+1.
on getting the +1. In fact, no, I've got a 14 there.
Oh.
No help.
No help. That's
Marcus,
fine.
stop helping, Marcus.
Okay.
I've got a 14.
So as you so the pieces do what you want. So they look you up and down. They kind of look at Marcus and say, okay, yeah, well, she's still asleep in there because she was dosed up to. We were expecting you to come in a few hours' time. So.
Oh, you better help us drag her out then. You carry her.
And they kind of look at each other. Okay. And you see one of them kind of turn around. They enter in the keypad, the code on the keypad, and the door slides open. And inside this room, you see on basically tied to one of the office chairs is this orc, sorry. Head slumped over the back of the chair. You can see that she's been effectively dressed up in the equivalent of like scrubs. And there is like a catheter that's kind of running. There's a needle that's kind of running into her upper arm, where it's clear that she's been kind of constantly drip fed something. She's completely and utterly unconscious. She's sedated. She's unconscious. And as the door opens, like another two heads turn to look to you and what's going on? As another two guards inside. Who are they? Say the guards on the inside. And Bryce, as you take a deep breath and go to explain again, you notice movement in the corner of your eye, and with your astral sight, you notice a humanoid shape kind of waft into the corner, and this Watcher spirit is kind of like stopped at the end of the corridor. Sorry, you see this Watcher spirit kind of going past, and you realise it's about to find Ellie and Bear.
Oh.
So Watcher spirits are, for all intents and purposes, magical CCTV.
Right.
Can only Price see it, or can we all see it?
So you can see the Watcher spirit. This one is physically manifested. So yeah, effectively it's a kind of shadowy ghost that's kind of floating around.
And this is in the corridor where Bear.
Yeah. So yeah,
Cat and I are.
Price has seen that this kind of Watcher spirit is just kind of wafted past, but it's about to turn the corner to see you two.
In which could I say to the security guards, look, can you just explain to your friends here what we're here for? I just need to take this quick phone call, and I'll step outside the cell. And could I use... That's going to be illusion, isn't it? Yeah, no, I can still do that. Could I use an illusion to make Ellie and Bear vanish from this Watcher? And I'll use my arcane thing to make it invisible from the Watcher.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, as you say, hold that thought. If you could give me a... So yeah, we spend your Arcana because you're gonna try and make him invisible to Watchers, and yes, give me a cast a spell roll.
This would be the illusion one, won't it? Yep, and it's still trying to +1 from Marcus, isn't it? 'Cause I'm still trying to just confuse and 12.
Okay, so yeah, you take a step
Holding
back.
it together, people.
as you kind of command the attention of those that Price has just dumped on you, these 4 security guards. Yeah, Price, you manage to kind of conjure the magic, pull magic up, and as you swing your hand up, you see this Watcher spirit turn to look at you because it's just detected magic being casted. But in doing so, seeing you cast some magic, but not like it studied you for a moment, and you feel its gaze kind of linger on the ID badge of Shane McConnell. And then it turns back to where it was going, and where so Ellie, Bear, you see this kind of spirit.
Essentially, they look like a fire axe cabinet and a trash can and a water bottle.
So yeah, you see this spirit kind of waft around the corner, and it looks directly at the two of you, Ellie and Bear, and then kind of floats off back down the corridor a bit further on.
And I'm a quickener as well, so I can keep my little fast talk manipulation going with the people and still do the illusion without suffering drain.
Okay, right, so you got one hand keeping invisibility up, and then just...
You believe everything I'm saying, believe it!
I've just got this image in my head as the Watcher came round the corner and we were unwittingly turned into, like, inanimate objects. Bear's axe just comes up and Ellie's hand just like lowers it down.
The fire cabinet just slowly opens and the axes just start.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, whilst Price is doing this, Marcus, you've been left to contend with the 4 security guards. The 2 outside have been convinced. The 2 inside have not yet been convinced. So yeah, one of them has just asked, "What the hell's going on here?"
Right, listen, we need to extract the patient. There's been a compromise in the current operation. Now, how exactly is the patient being restrained at present? Could you advise us what the protocol has been thus far?
So
could you give me the handover papers, please? Have you got those?
So the two guards from outside kind of turn to you and say, "Oh well, we just kind of kept her here and tied her to the chair and kept her under surveillance."
Right. Where's the paperwork? Have you got it?
And they all kind of look at each other.
Right, guys, this is standard procedure, right? Go on the internet, find the damn paperwork, print it, and we're gonna sign over the handover of the patient. All right? Are you guys new here?
They look to you and, like, as they tilt their heads, Marcus, I would like you to roll me a fast talk.
Is Marcus good at fast talk? Is he stylish?
Reasonably.
Your
good.
style must be pretty good.
Price?
Price, you cannot
him.
help. You cannot help
What?
because you're busy trying to keep the axe cabinets.
So this is fast talk.
Fast
yeah.
talk.
Yeah. I don't get any positive. No,
Yeah, plus
nothing.
1.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well done,
Alright,
Marcus.
listen. I gotta explain everything here. All right. Don't worry about it. We'll sort it out after. Just get her moving.
Okay. So the 4 guards, like the 2 guards inside, like the two behind you, they've all been convinced. The 2 in front of you just kind of, yeah.
All right. Snap to it.
And they, yes. And you see one of them kind of, like they open up a terminal nearby and they start kind of tip-tapping away and looking at you. And like there's just the one on the computer, thankfully, is doing something to keep himself occupied. The other 3 guards are just kind of awkwardly stood, like, because they've just been told off by a stranger that they assume is a higher position than them. And what weapons are you armed with? Have you just got your pistol?
No, so there's no lights, right? So it's just like basically everyone's there with a cell phone flashlight trying to do it.
Yes.
So what am I? I've got a hold up pistol concealed, right? There's a heavy pistol on his
On his leg.
on his belt, and he's got like a duffel bag with like an AK-98 folded, you know. But that's tucked away in the duffel bag.
Right. Okay. So yeah, the room is.
But he's got three guns on him, basically.
Right. Okay, so yeah, the room is slightly illuminated from the terminal screen as this guard taps out. And are you all kind of linked into one another?
Yeah.
So the guard, brings up the terminal and starts to look into the details. You see him stop and go. It says you're still en route. You're somewhere near Basingstoke.
Yeah, glitch.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm not there, am I?
Sorry.
It's a decoy, all right? Standard operating procedure. We told you we're en route, but we're actually here to avoid ambushes, all right?
Ellie.
Can Ellie do something?
Yeah?
Would this be use of my security hold, or would this be a different manipulate systems?
I would be
check?
happy with you using this hold.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to use my hold. I'm going to
make the dot on the map.
I'm going to update it to immediately to the current position as if the system has suddenly updated itself or something.
In which case, as you hear this over the comms and you quickly jump onto the your cyber link and then you press a few buttons, and there, Marcus, you see on this GPS map, because this guard's looking at you suspiciously, and then you watch as the dot just kind of goes from like the Reading, Basingstoke area to boom, like northwest London, and you kind of point at it, and
There you go. I'm here.
the soldier looks back and I'm sorry, sir. There seems to be a problem with the systems tonight. I don't know what's happening.
Listen, if you'd read the procedures, you know all about this. It's okay.
Yes.
Who's your supervisor again?
I'm the supervisor.
Right. Who's your boss?
Shane!
That would be.
It's Shane now.
he looks at it and goes, "It's
Yes, that would be the head of security, and then he gestures and he kind of brings you the details up, and boom, Shane McConnell pops up
with his mop.
and like the guard looks at it for a moment and that's a bit weird. I wasn't expecting that. So,
all right.
yes, the guards kind of look to this orc, and like she's not small. She's a big girl. She's a good girl.
She's a big woman.
She's a big woman. And they kind of, do you want us to? We can find a wheelchair, I suppose. Says one of the guards.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Go
Okay, so one of the guards disappears. Comes back a little while, a few minutes later, with this wheelchair. In the meantime, whilst this is happening, Ellie, so your cyber link is still running this program, right? Like
Sure, yeah.
like you can see traces of the program, and like it seems to have systematically like shut off various systems. Like doors are jamming, the elevator's not working, the lights are on the fritz.
Yeah.
You notice a new line of code begins writing itself that says remote access established, downloading.
In the software.
Who's accessing? No, not my deck, right?
It's the spike thing you put, isn't it?
So yeah, you notice like basically your cyber deck is able to keep tabs on what this attack program is doing.
Right.
Because you've just been watching it fritz the systems, but now this attack program seems to be it's established a remote access link and it is downloading something from Auga.
Could it be Genesis?
It could well be. It could be Blue Tree or Genesis. Yeah. Is there any?
Because they're the ones.
While all this is going on, hauling the orc into the wheelchair and everything, is there any way Ellie can try and subtly just kind of find out where is this data being downloaded to? Like, where is this remote link coming from?
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you to let's give you a so tell you what, I won't ask for systems because this is all on your deck. Actually, I will ask you for a I'll ask you for a manipulate systems, please.
Yeah, sure. That sounds.
Because at the moment, it's not giving you information on where it's going to.
No, that's what I want to find out. Okay. Am I getting a +1 to this because I'm? It's on mission, or is this a little bit off mission?
This is kind of off mission. So
I agree. Okay. Oh God. It's a partial, an 8.
Okay, fine. So off the back of that,
hold.
so you can spend that hold to find out. As you can see this secure tunnel that's been established, and the data is kind of filtering through it. And like tracing it back, you find that the security protocols that stop you going any further without really pushing are stamped by Genesis Life Tech.
Okay, so we know who's behind all this. All right then. I'm not going to go any further.
They're the ones probably. They're probably the ones in.
Yeah,
place,
Mr.
right?
Smith.
I'm going to whisper onto the comms. Genesis Life Tech. They're behind all this that's happening with the systems.
Okay. And as Ellie whispers that to you through the comms, this orc is kind of rolled into the wheelchair. One of the guards, like they've unplugged her, like her arm is heavily bruised from where this needle was inserted, which had just been pumping her full of drugs. And one of the guards hands you, Marcus, a syringe that says, like, it's not a syringe, it's like one of those kind of stim thing. Saying, yeah, when you need her to be a bit more cognate, just whack her in the neck with this.
All right.
And he nods and I always thought the counter-espionage team was local. He says, looking at you, like having heard your voice.
Oh no! Listen, subcontracted all the way.
And they know all the jobs are getting shipped out externally. They kind of roll their eyes.
Yeah, well, listen, you don't have the expertise locally. You gotta bring it in.
Okay, on that note, let's get going, people.
Okay, and yeah, you now have possession of this unconscious orc woman in a wheelchair.
About 8 flights of stairs to get her down now.
Yeah, should we say we'll take it from here? You might want to check on what's happening to your lights and security. So we'll see you.
They nod. Yeah, and like you can see one of them's back on the comm link trying to find out, like, liaise with everyone else. So yeah, are you gonna risk the elevators, or are you gonna try taking her down the stairs?
We could go down one flight, all like helping carry the wheelchair, and then we could her in the neck, couldn't we?
There's a third option.
Yeah.
Is I could use one of my pieces of gear to get some climbing equipment, and we just go via the window.
Yeah, let's use the stairs. It's all fine. We're fine.
Are we fine?
Yeah, let's head to the stairs.
We're gonna get the wheelchair down
Fine,
the
I'll
stairs.
levitate her down like Professor X. It's all good.
I'm sorry, what?
That's amazing! I love it!
She
the
can
way
go.
down.
She can go down the column down the middle of the stairs, and I'll levitate her
Don't fuck
down.
it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She
don't
comes
mess
out. She'll
up.
go down the stairs, levitated, not down the middle. Yeah, thank you.
Although if that then fails, she's in a wheeled carriage going down the rest
We
of
let
the
her go down first, and then we
Bear's
follow.
on point. It's all right. Bear's on point. It's fine. He's our wheelchair blocker.
Bear in mind, you can wake her up.
We can wake her up, guys. This is what I said.
We don't know what the thing is. If Genesis are involved in doing something dodgy, we don't know how on side she's going to be.
We could
Yeah.
say we're from Genesis and that we're getting her out.
Well,
Yeah.
but she
She
might
might
be in
be-
Hulk rage, won't she?
You were told that she was an asset of Mr. Smith's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she should trust us if we say we're helping.
Whatever the party feels is the sensible thing to do. I think she's easier to move asleep at the moment than dealing with someone
Right.
blowing up. Once we're in the car, not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
if it all
yeah.
goes pear-shaped, we should wake her up straight away.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
If for
But then
now
we
it
don't
might
know how
be.
long it'll take. It might take her a few minutes to come round. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
it's
true.
not necessarily going to be immediate. But
Yeah.
anyway, I think this is a plan. Let's keep her asleep for now.
Okay. So, are you actually levitating her down the stairs?
Yeah, because we don't need the illusion. The
suppose you just
the
carry it,
fire cabinet and the water pot can come back to normal.
Okay.
Well, unless you all want to carry her, what do you think? Are we done with stairs? Are you happy to carry her, or?
Could she feasibly be carried by between Marcus and I?
You can fire my ends carry her. I'll grab the wheelchair.
She's probably bigger, substantially bigger than I am, though,
Yeah,
isn't she?
she would be trailing along the floor, wouldn't she?
Over Bear's shoulders, her head will be hitting the stair behind.
I'd be tripping over
But
both her
there's-
feet and her head at the same time.
What's your meat stat? You got +2, right? You're a big boy.
I'm a wide boy. I'm not a big boy. I'm not a tall boy.
That's fine.
Well, do you want me to use the levitate to keep her head up while you carry her?
Oh my god.
Keep her
Sure.
straight. I'll keep her in a plank shape and you carry her down the stairs.
Tell you what, if you're taking the stairs rather than the elevator, between the minor magics that Price will be casting to keep her above ground, between Bear's impressive strength, are you just going straight to the car park?
I think you should try and hide the wheelchair somewhere,
We're
even
taking
like
the wheelchair.
superficially.
We'll just take it with us.
Well, he's carrying an empty wheelchair down. You are.
Marcus can carry the wheelchair.
Me, sure.
You
Yeah.
never know when we need it.
just-
If there's a bit of
Well-
gear to nick, we're nicking it. Even if it's just a wheelchair.
Right, okay, so you head down the stairs with an empty wheelchair and an unconscious orc. You get to the underground car park, you go to swipe McConnell's Shane McConnell's badge to get out of the access. Oh no, sorry, it'd be a staircase, so it just opens. And then you pile into the sedan. I'm guessing the orc is just kind of squished in the space on the back seat between the two of you. Okay, and as
Seatbelts, people.
you pull away from the building, Ellie, as you kind of look over, as you kind of get out of wireless range, you can see that there are lights just kind of going on and off, and there's kind of fritzing, and just buildings having a terrible time. The last thing you notice as you drop out of Wi-Fi range is that your the attack program that you're keeping tabs on says download complete, as it kind of fizzes out.
Oh boy.
And then it fizzes out, and then you notice it deletes itself from your cyber deck.
Great.
So, as you drive away from Augatech with this slumped orc in the backseat of your car, are you just going to call Mrs. Smith to arrange a meet-up and payment?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get rid of this thing. I mean, do we want to wake her up? Is it a sign of good faith for Mr. Smith
Yeah,
that we haven't actually
maybe.
questioned her or anything? That here she is?
Just leave her. Leave her.
Really?
Leave her.
I'd quite like to talk
mean-
to her, but okay.
You're cool.
Up to you guys.
Well, Marcus, you've got the syringe. You've got the chemical smelling salts. So
I reckon we wake her up. Don't you think? There's something very fishy going on. It would be good to know.
Yeah, but are we paid to
What
be
we've just
fishy?
unleashed. What did we just unleash, though?
What
No,
did you
They're just
unleash?
stealing the info from the company.
I hope so.
That's all they're
I
doing.
hope so.
So and we know who they are. So it's like, what is she gonna tell us that we don't already know? So I'd rather get some credit with Mr. Smith by just saying, "There you go. This is the way." We found
Is there any way, I don't know, can any of you techie people like put a tracking thing on her so that if when we give her back, we then know where she's. If we then need
That
to
is
take her on later.
rife with possibility for it coming back to bite us, isn't it? If they ever find
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, that bug. I don't think it's worth it.
We've been out of work for 3 months. This is like, you need to do like squeaky clean service.
So
I'm voting talk to her.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus is gonna vote that he just leaves her the way it is and literally gives to Mr. Smith
Okay.
the syringe.
Yeah.
Did you want to leave a card in her pocket, Kat, to be able to say, we rescued you, you owe us?
Not really.
Okay,
No, I
fine.
think no. I don't think that is a reasonable move. But I do think us waking her up to talk to her in the car would be fair enough, and that might reveal some interesting information if she feels so inclined to talk to us. I just think it's an opportunity, but we don't.
Yeah.
If the group thinks it's much safer just to leave her, then I'll go with that.
I mean, I just don't want Price doesn't want to damage his car.
Are you afraid she'll wake up swinging?
Yeah, that's what I was. I'm just stereotyping what
You
a
could tie
crazy
her up.
is going to be like.
As a precaution, but that would be a bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she's sedated enough that she won't wake up unless you inject her. So if you're leaving her, she is snoozing softly on the back seat with her head slumped on the top of Bear's. And yeah, you make the call to Mr. Smith. You're given a location to another car park similar to the one you met him in, but this one is different, like in a different location, closer to Auga Tech. Again, because it's relatively late now, as you get up to the designated floor, you see like a nondescript, blacked out company car ahead of you. And as you approach, the company car's lights turn off. Sorry, go on now.
I do like the idea of leaving as subtle a card as possible on her that just maybe gives a contact detail.
Give her your
or
Instagram.
something. Yeah, give her my Instagram. So that if she did want to, if she was curious, she could get in touch with us.
Thank
and
her
then we might be able
rescuers
to
and
talk to
stuff
her.
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe no address details or anything.
No address
Yeah.
details, but just like a one-off burner line or something that
Okay.
I can offer her to if she wants to reach out.
In which case, Kat, if you mark, Auga Orc
As a contact?
as a
or-
contact, and then
Yeah,
information
sure.
will come up in a moment. So
That's fine.
yeah, as you approach this company car, the headlights turn off, the engine turns off. You notice, Bear, that the engine is warmer, so clearly they've only recently got here as well. And Mr. Smith steps out, straightens his waistcoat as he did before, and he steps towards you as you get out the car. I assume you're loading this orc into the wheelchair,
Yeah,
kind of wheeling her
quality
over.
service.
And like Mr. Smith looks down, and there's this, like, Marcus, you recognise that kind of contemplative look of, he's impressed, quick and easy.
Yeah, Marcus will walk up to him and go and hand him the syringe and go, there you go, job done.
He nods, and when I spoke to Red, I was promised of your professionalism. I'm glad to see that I wasn't shortchanged in my expectations,
Yeah, you got it.
he says. And he takes a syringe, he puts it to the side of the orc's neck, presses the button, you hear the as it injects her with the stimulants. You see her kind of shake slightly, and then like you see her eyes underneath her eyelids start to move as she starts to come to. And he looks through and I thank you for a discreet and efficient job. I am more than pleased with your performance. Are you taking point again, Marcus, on this discussion?
I think so. And then on the next mission, maybe somebody else can take the.
Okay, so in which case, Marcus, I would like you to roll me a getting paid.
Getting paid. And I get to
So
add.
you get to add 1,
however
2,
many
3, 4, 5 to the roll.
unfilled segments.
Why is that?
So when
Just the
you,
way it
you
works,
get
you
paid
get
by your
involved.
employer, you count up the unfilled segments of the legwork clock. And you guys
Oh,
are
nice.
very discreet.
Awesome.
So plus 5 to the roll.
Okay.
Why the legwork and not the action one?
It's weird, isn't
Shit, I
it?
did under
Yeah.
the knife. Why did I do that?
Oh,
That's wrong.
that's incorrect.
That's, I mean, it's the same. It's the
That's-
same roll. Oh,
It's
Well,
the same.
yes.
oh, but actually, yeah, that's
Wait, mine would be edge instead of what is prompt?
That's
So
the
actually
plus
I'd have
5.
that's a
plus.
plus 5.
No, it'd be plus 6 because I've got one edge.
But it doesn't
Actually,
say
it's
it's an edge roll though.
Yeah, it's not. A,
It does. Get the job.
No, get
edge.
paid.
Oh, it's getting paid.
Oh, sorry.
so it's just plus. So we do that.
Oh, it's right at the
Oh,
bottom.
perfect. I rolled a 9. Cool. So choose one from the list below.
I want to get paid.
So you're
in
being
full.
paid, but yes. You
Does
can
that
choose.
mean it is a setup or an ambush?
Like,
Are we just securing that it's not a setup rather than whichever one we pick, it will definitely be an ambush?
Maybe
They pay us the
it-
full amount
maybe
and
it
then kill
assures-
us.
If we choose it's not a setup or ambush, maybe it just assures us that
yeah,
it won't
yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
But it doesn't mean it
The
has.
No,
ones
okay.
that you don't choose aren't necessarily going to happen, but they
Good.
are things that I could.
You could do it.
introduce. Yes.
Okay.
You're just crossing off one of my things.
I suppose it's a bit like if the mission went really tits up and we crawled up with hardly any hit points left and we're knackered, we get paid. We could ensure it's not an ambush to make sure we're not, you know,
Mhm.
things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if we'd
Wait, hold
if we'd not done the mission particularly well, you could still ensure you get paid fully,
Yeah.
for example.
Well, okay, hold on. So then, should I just not choose you are paid?
I
in
think
full
we
'cause
should be
that's-
paid in
that's
full
good.
anyway,
Mhm.
shouldn't we? Given we've done he's told us we did a good job.
And we gave him the syringe with the thing. So I'm gonna go with you learn something from the mission.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because it gives us
Well, I like
experience.
that
I like
one.
that.
So
that a lot.
everyone's going to gain additional experience, so we'll hold on to that.
Cool.
Yeah. So Mr. Smith injects this orc. She, like, you see her eyes flickering about. She starts to rouse, and he looks to you. My employers will be extremely appreciative of your work tonight, to ensure that in this unsure time that the right benefactors are in power. So we can only thank you for that. You hear a groan coming from the orc as he kind of looks to you. You see like his cyber eye kind of fix on you a little bit. Each of your payments will be wired. Well, he holds a hand out, and there's 4 cred sticks in his hands as he hands them to you. Your payment as promised, he says, and I think you chose you will pay well.
I don't think it was that, was it? What
No.
was it? Let me just go back.
I think I gained
Intel,
intel.
okay.
Yeah, he got the intel.
In which case, you all gain back double what you spent. So 4, 4, 4, and 2, I believe.
Yep.
And then +1 for being.
And
Does
then
the
if
plus
you're-
one come in after?
If
Before
you're
the double?
human,
then?
it's +1. Matt, you didn't have to rely on your dwarven contact, so I believe you get +1 cred as well.
Wait, so we get the 4 back if we bet 2,
Plus
and
another
we
one
get an extra one.
because you're human.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why do you get
Yeah.
paid more for being human? Is that just prejudice?
It's outrageous. is what it
Privilege!
is.
It's
Yeah.
just-
So I'm getting
Basically.
one. I bet 1, so I'm getting 1 back plus 1 for being a human. Yeah.
No, so you bet
No.
2,
You
so you
get
get.
2
I'll get 2, so
back.
I'm getting 3.
So
Okay.
you gain
Yeah.
3.
Beautiful.
Matt, yeah, your Dwarven networks, if you did not declare a contact this mission, which you didn't because you just called on Ferret, who you already had, you take an extra credit when you get paid as well.
Okay. So if I, he doesn't like
You get plus
he
5.
doesn't like dwarves, but if I don't talk to other dwarves, it's okay.
Kinda.
So you should
Get
actually.
more
Yeah.
money for not talking to you. That's ridiculous.
So Matt, you should be on 8
Yeah,
cred,
yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm on 8 cred.
Sure.
I'm on 7.
So-
That's fine. I'll live with that.
So in which case, yeah, he hands you the cred sticks. There's a smile. The smile says he's genuinely glad that he can trust you. Like you seem trustworthy. You know, there's a respect on his face. And he looks down and says, he gestures to the kind of slumbering orc, and she was one of yours once upon a time. He says, like rather nonchalantly. Terrible what happened with the underground. It's good to see that there's still some good eggs in the city that we can rely on. Ones that don't, and he puts his hand on the orc's shoulder. Ones that don't fuck it up. He smiles ever so slightly. Perhaps I will speak to you in the future soon, he says.
Yeah, at your disposal.
He nods. He turns and kind of walks back to the car as the driver gets out and wheels this orc into towards the car, and you watch as the driver, like the driver's wearing a coat, but like you hear the hydraulic whirs as he kind of picks this orc up, and you know that there's clearly some cybernetic arms under there doing the heavy lifting, because he managed to just pick up this like 250-pound woman and just put her in the car relatively easily. They kind of look at the wheelchair. The driver looks at the wheelchair, looks at you, and just kind of leaves it in the middle of the car park. Closes the door, gets back in, and then they drive off, leaving only the wheelchair behind.
Ooh, I liked Price's suggestion before they drive off.
Oh, okay. So, Price, are you saying that out loud? Sorry.
Yeah, just for the rest of the group. Just if they've let slip that she was a member of the underground, and we might have bumped into her in that lovely little marketplace that Mariah Viridius had run. Do we feel a little bit of a? I thought she was actually employed by them, and they're just going to take her back for a debrief and a slap on the hands. But if she's actually potentially just a piece of trash to throw away now, I'm a bit more in a caring mood.
Yeah. So the one thing you do remember, like he did say that she's one of his assets. So,
Oh, right, okay.
like as you learn that information, you kind of put 2 and 2 together that in the aftermath of the fall of the underground, a lot of Shadowrunners would have ended up in corporations' pockets. It's
Right.
purely like
For safety,
Yeah.
hide me and I'll do jobs for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not implicated. Yeah. Okay.
But that's if you're indebted to a corporation, that can lead you into some pretty hairy situations.
But if you've got nowhere to run or hide, you have to. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, she seems like, given that she's as safe as any other company asset would be.
Okay.
You hope.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, if we never get a call from her, we'll know what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, with yourselves being paid, we can look again. So, you entered into the Auga facility, you marked experience.
Yep.
You recovered the operative, mark experience.
Oh, okay.
You sabotaged the Auga systems, mark experience. You successfully completed the mission, mark experience.
Ooh.
So,
I'm on 5.
and then you learned
Five.
something extra from the mission, so you should now all be on 6 XP.
I don't know why, but I've got loads more than that.
I've got more because we had 2 experience over the course of the legwork and the mission, didn't we?
Yeah, which Dan just repeated.
Yeah, Dan
Wait.
repeated them. So
Okay.
if you were counting them as Dan was saying them, you would have 1 or 2 more. But
Yeah, I was going to say I was on 8, but
How
Yeah.
many are we on now?
6
in
Six.
in
total.
That's perfect.
Dan, could I argue for one of my directive, which is prudent? When you resolve a charged situation without violence, mark experience for the 2 guards that we managed to convince that we were taking them on board.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, because of your here's the plan, you specifically got paid, so you get another experience.
Much rolling in experience.
I see.
Lord.
So, yeah, Marcus is.
his
So,
plan.
if anyone else, I don't know what everyone's
Oh, yeah.
directives were. So,
I had nothing to do with the church and
Let's go
nothing
through the
found
meeting.
out about Black Fear and Phoenix. That's fine.
Yeah,
And Julia, did
same.
your brother, is that part of your...
Same for me. If my kind of allegiance to my brother gets in the way, I mark experience, or if I find out information about Meridius from the underground,
right.
that's another thing. So nothing to do with my directives.
Cool.
cool. So, with that experience marked, as you get back in the sedan and head back to your 2-bed flat in South London, we will call it there on a successful opening mission.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
More or
yes,
less.
Yeah.
you are successful Shadowrunners. And yeah, as the neon strobing lights and advert as you drive through central London, you see the building-sized adverts of selling various wares and advertisements for various corporations kind of looming over you. You realize that, you know, with this successful mission, you are about to step back in to a brand new and unfamiliar world.
Liking it.
Cool.
Sweet.
Congratulations, everyone. And yes, I hope you all enjoyed. So this will be the start of a somewhat intermittent series where we kind of go through this system, which seems to be very, very fun. So thank you all for watching. I will catch you later. I will catch you all later. And until we next meet, stick to the shadows. Bye bye bye.
Yes. Bye.
Welcome to MDN News.
Telling you what you need to know. We are receiving reports that cyber optics manufacturer and developer Auga has reached a complete buyout agreement with Genesis Lifetech, effective immediately.
This good news comes at a time when Auga struggles to recover from a recent lawsuit concerning a number of faulty cyber optics.
A brand new Auga facility recently opened in northwestern Neo-London, which a Genesis spokesperson has now confirmed was purpose-built with the imminent takeover in mind.
Genesis has also confirmed that the jobs of the current Auga employees are secure, as these staff will be redistributed across the globe to make room for inbound Genesis specialists.
We will be updating this story as more news reaches us.
Next up, cybernetics for your pets. Is this the future, or are they simply barking up the wrong tree?
Stay tuned to MVN News for further discussion after this quick advertisement break.
If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment down below. You can find more Explorers of Elsewhere content right here. You should also go ahead and subscribe to the channel by clicking right here. Click the bell to receive notifications of new uploads. Until next time, stick to the shadows.